Alright, back, and we're just waiting for the game to load. Downside of Genshin being this big is I have to put on my hard drive instead of my SSD. I realized I still didn't move out this area.
Judgment.
Take care of these guys.
Obey.
Timer's off. Okay, let's get the event quest going. Okay. Let's beat this event, yeah. Alright, going to go to Fontaine. Oh, teleport plan. We're back. Might deactivate this teleport points. And we go to the workshop. This is annoying. Very annoying. Doesn't this just mean that Lady Farina will sit at the judges table? Exactly. At the judges table, what's that? Oh my, we have guests. Judging from your clothes, you must be outlanders. Yes, in that case, it's quite expected that you might not understand our local lingo. Allow me to put it this way. Who should justices, of course. And who is our Chief Justice? And Nicolette. Yeah. Well then, why is our dear Hydro Archon sitting in Sir Nicolette's chair? Come on, tell me. What would the poor people being judged think of that? If it were me, why would the Chief Hydro Archon knows nothing about being a judge? Well, the best thing in the beginning was advertised. Maybe trials will not as advertised precisely as you say. That doesn't mean that panel thought it did. Wait, just a second. Are you sure it's okay for you to make fun of your god like that? Oh, of course, our Archon loves such jokes. Why, if these words reached her ears, she would tie me in a cell and have me roll into a deep lake watching enthusiastically from the sidelines the entire time. What? Dear guys, do not grieve yet, for our good Arbon is ever so flighty. His words, even a millstone cannot sink him. The uncle will say, "Ah, it's a miracle, such a romantic ending," while applauding most loudly. In fact, you might even shed a tear or two. Ash may bestow upon me a model of romantic Fontaine meadow. Ah yes, most romantic. Not sure what to say here. In case, look at business. My ass way to a humble store. Which Arvo, do you think our two guests look like the famous Ventures boss told us about recently? Huh, why so? One with hair like burnished gold and another shining silver. Alright, might you two be Mr. Walrose of Paimon? You know us? Boss was asking around at the Adventures Guild about adventurers active in Fontaine, and ended up being told about the two of you. Word is that you are a pretty formidable team. Well then, Mr. Walrose, looks like we're getting ready for your marketing by the day. Thanks to me, eh? Come on, could you show a bit more humility? Well then, what would your boss like with this? Well, unfortunately, he's not in the store right now, so I'll tell you instead. Just a few words, nothing more. To be brief, our boss would like your help collecting data for his champion duelist plan. The duelist plan? It's plan to use champion duelists as the main characters and develop centerpieces that focus on our advertising. For a new line of clockwork toys. Alright, that's our business, by the way, clockwork toys. Also, have the two of you heard of champion duelists? Not at all, care to explain? In a special institution in Fontaine, to commit any crimes, and as you face your trial, you may apply for a duel against a champion duelist. Should you prove victorious, you can clear your name and defend your honor, thus remove the need for a trial. However, defeating a champion duelist is no mean feat. Better than selling toys, certainly. The boss believes this to be an excellent cultural institution of Fontaine, as such toys of this kind may yet sell very well indeed. If they do get popular outside the country, we can also win honor for our nation. Two birds with a bullet, one stone, I say. Ah, I see Lady Farina herself pinning medals to her chest. So that's the situation, huh? But if you're making toy champion duelists, what do you need us adventurers for? Well, you can develop anything without data, and the strength of the champion duelists is holding all manners of perilous places. Getting data on them is easy. But when we heard that the more impressive adventurers do similar things, we thought, why not get adventurers to help us instead? Not probably against that. You're going to use adventures to get data you need for my toy champion duelists, is that it? That's false advertising. Oh, no, it's not quite that serious. It's more like replacing a maritime flower with a mallow tree. But you know, a wooden pillow with a stone one. Doesn't that all mean more or less the same thing? What are you two? That's what you two were talking about from the start, you know? And we heard it all. And not that. We were talking about I can't pronounce that. The watchmaker next door. They're way worse than we are, trust me. He goes as a watchmaker, but they make toys on the slide. Now that's just completely absurd, isn't it? Yeah, terribly so. A watchmaker that sells toys? Exactly. And is not reprehensible. Come, tell me, what do you like most in this world? That's what kind of I play Waterworlds, of course. In that case, there was a Waterworld puppet store somewhere that you travel from afar to see. Well, it's fine they do not sell Waterworld puppets, but at all, it's like nothing but a bunch of Waterworld puppets. You do not anger at this betrayal of your expectation. You do not cry and scream. Were you not saying the bosses that saw flying with a single punch for denying you the purchase of your dear companion? Well, I'd be furious. I'd punch the store owner right into his cell in the fortress of Meropipe. Seriously, who buy our puppets anyway? Oh, now these things are really kind of annoying. What do we do? It would be terrible if puppets of you were to go out of stock. Oh, it's a red herring. Don't get distracted. Yeah, and then we got Paimon there too. Oh, come now, we're just making analogies. And you know what they say, if there's no such thing as a perfect analogy, then, and while the things we describe do happen, after all, you will not find Bella conscious in talking by that kind of means, will you? Especially the only increase in frequency. Until a day comes when watchmakers stop making watches altogether. But we shall not forgive them. Oh no, they would, unless they change their mind to Lapala toy makers, then there will be no game. You two really love spot nonsense, don't you? The more you're talking, the further off topic we get. So let's just get to clear. What do you need us to do? Actually, we do have one request for you to make. Could you two go to the Parties Logery next door and do a little investigation? Watchmaking is their main trade, but the latest toys have become so popular, just stealing our customers. Here, the store owner gained inspiration from the toys of Mondstadt and appears by what they might be. Highlights an economical power 200 gives off sensible 500 sweet sensitivity, which is them people. But here doesn't act like Mondstadt can do that anyway. Group with sweetness to set it, wouldn't that be? As such, can you please help us check it out, dear guests? Our boss is quite concerned about this matter. And why won't you go yourself? Oh, come on now, dear guest. We have reputations to maintain as business people. We can't just walk over there willy-nilly. Exactly. It's for the sake of our reputation, and this one reputation not one's at all. For my part, I must go tell our boss of your arrival, so please lend us your aid in this matter. To be honest, my mom's pretty curious. What is that? Take inspiration from Mondstadt look like? But they really have something to do with alchemy. Let's just go have a look, shall we? In that case, we shall wait for news from you. Okay, so we gotta investigate the watchmakers. Okay, here we got a mech. And that's this guy. What's this guy? Okay, we unlocked later. Come Karen, the owner of the shop, what can I do for you? Hey boss, we heard that you come with a bit of some milestone. Sounds like you know more about it. Of course you can. Still, my older brother sent you here to seek out information, didn't you? Brother, wait, actually, do you know what we're here for? Oh, I just saw you working on the clockwork workshop, that's all. My brother owns that shop, and I know him and what he'd do. That is just as right up his alley. Those before you can even get started. Anyway, we should prep more before coming. How are we supposed to know that you're your brothers? Now this isn't just a matter of corporate competition, it's brother, is it? It's brother against brother. Climb on money language, please. Sorry boss, Climb's brain gears got stuck there for a moment. Don't worry, even the best made toys have components that get stuck at some point. It's the same with people, you need to take good care. Besides, I don't think we're wrong about how my brothers see each other in our relationship. Regardless, I won't take up much more of the time than needed, and talk about these toys instead. In our Shitsuke, we're supposed to secretly gather intel. Such interesting things you say, dear customers. Our store's real bread and butter is cloths, which we make using techniques handed down from generation to generation. Those are just my personal hobby. They bring happiness to people, so if I let more people know about them, it's not saying it's spreading happiness. Happiness? Ah, it's such a nice way of thinking about things. You know, if I say that this line I think is too unadventurous, but with that aside, I don't want to have a look at the toy. I hope you'll like it. Maybe it's like laser with experience when they're listening, it was an incredible experience for me. I incorporated the story of an adventure I met into a toy, but don't set your expectations high. In the end, it's just a simple clockwork device. Adventures? So it's not a product of alchemy then? Chemical toy? That sounds interesting, but this adventure made quite the impression. This time I'll tell you the story. But like trying to toy out now, there's nothing quite like experiencing it for yourself. Here's myself. And a reply on the other end. We should get there first. And come right back. Paimon really wants to try this adventure toy right away. Alright, gotta go back now. And that's a spin crystal right there.
More speed.
Two guests have returned. You two are quite neat. I expected the people recommended by the Adventure Scout. I'm Revere, the owner of this shop. Welcome. Hey there, Ross. So you and Kim are brothers. Why don't you didn't know about that and saw it through us right away? Does it Albert? You didn't tell them something this important? Seriously, Armand, didn't we agree you tell them? If you're gonna cut anyone's salary, boss, cut his. Hey, are you brothers, two brothers too? But don't call this guy my brother. So what do you mean the admission's a bust? You didn't find anything? Oh no, Ken's a real nice guy, he didn't mind, even though he knew about us. He even told us he would try to come to play anytime. That guy, so that little toy alchemical power? No, it's an adventure toy. Those things are so corny. Didn't you say that he incorporated some adventure story into or something? Sorry, how did you know? Did you already investigate the matter or something? I just know him too well. He always puts something sentimental in his stories without caring about the moral situation. Destiny adventure stories are all long out of fashion. But your shop is very popular, isn't it? There's just ordinary marketing fluctuations. Once our champion duelist lineup takes the stage, we'll have him beat easy. But those aren't real champion duelists, and the result of us out of fashion adventures The result of us out-of-action adventure is play acting. Ah, but what you do now? This is what we call packaging. It's standard practice in the market. No one cares exactly how exactly you do it. We're just going to get the data and put in some popular toy prototypes, and it's a story about the growth of a champion duelist, and that'll do the trick just fine. Right? That's it. I feel there's definitely be problems this way. It's fine if the story has issues, but it's all about the gimmick. What would you think if I told you that Arbonne of Albert are in fact ultra-realistic, ultra-high-quality puppets based on the theme of double bats? What? The puppets? The puppets look so real? Of course they can. That's the power of a double hat. Tricks them seem very real indeed. Do you see that? That's the power of packaging. Even gimmicks can, when presented the right way, generate interest. Ah, so it was a trick. You cheated. You couldn't be more different from your brother. Well, that's his power for not staying in his clockwork lane. He wants to stick his nose in toy-making business. Might do that as his older brother to show him what's what. Better that man, aren't you? Then for the compliment, in that case, eyes up, you two, the data collection will be run by Arbonne and Albert. Well, we're just gonna try and blind out to the brotherly conflict. Just don't skip on our payments. Give me the gems. Okay, and I guess these are all individual quests. 2 days later.
So much quieter outside.
What's up, this? I heard mother's being better recently, being nervous of people, especially with knees. Hey, now we become famous started in front of people. Armand? Is that member of the I can't pronounce that. You haven't seen him? He's from the same village as us, and he wants to act as comedies. He said the long-term effect of him had fallen from the audience seats and his head at a comedy show. I really like that commentary. I recall it was called Judgment, but nowadays I feel like I can't really enjoy it. I mean, the kid who wanted to become a comic actor was judged during a comedy called Judgment, and his sentence was to never become one. My mom was saying to commit, and who was his judge? What can I say? Alright, Albert, give me the quest. The work already, don't mind saying. Sorry, let's go. That's so fun. Not telling you I play. I've done pretend stuff years to meditate me for a hostile spy. And then just works stuff like data collection, 92 parts. And okay. And I'm gonna guiding data session goes like clockwork. Alright, back to Armand. And can we do the way? And I'll be careful for sure. And yes, then just okay, let's go. Alright, that one looks good. Alright, this is very simple. Ah, this one. Actually, no. I'm gonna restart it. I can get this perfect. Alright, that should be the last one. Alright, perfect score. Alright, let's see the other difficulties. Hold the close on the air key and then charge up before releasing the button. Okay, try. Hey, this is all from the summer event. I just realized the waterway tram train, basically the upgraded version of what we had in the summer event. That's neat. Alright, there's another one, perfect. And last one. Unless there's more difficulties. Dance Dance Resolution. I just noticed the name. It faces it, to show top left and right simultaneously. Ah, nope. Start over. Smash. Alright. And that's 100% too. Is that all the rewards for this guy? Oh, I know, free Bennett. Wait a minute. Is my Bennett already C5? Because I am not getting a C6 Bennett. Because I know for a fact C16 Bennett is a mistake. Oh, never mind. I don't have. I want C1. I don't do the other ones. Oh, I just did the other ones. Okay, efficacy tested simulation year 20 challenge.
Knights and aristocrats share the same cultural heritage.
Okay, it seems like we also have to do the war quest in order to do one of the activities as well. So I could do that as well.
More speed.
No, not this way. Alright, now we'll just go this way. Oh, I should set a marker. What are these portal things? Let's say certain events cannot be opened in any way. There is also managed to figure out the energy as benefit also Numa and use the charge for the opposite line to strike and unlock.
Dissipate! Judgment! Beg for mercy!
Was that the right one? Let's just put it back down just in case. It's on a box. Alright, activate this marker. Grab these crystal flies. Grab these seeds. Give me these seeds, the butterfly. Can I capture these guys? Hold on, let me see if I can capture these guys. Hey, nice.
More speed.
Alright, now we got our seeds again. And whatever the hell this thing is. What? I have no idea what the hell this is. Also, robot dog.
Bond is strong. Manifest.
Robot dog, check it out.
Crush. with me! Unleash! Beg for mercy. Shudder! More speed. Judgment! Manifest!
Sorry, Hydra, I don't want.
Crush!
Ah, yes, each of these give a chest.
What do we have here?
Alright, I'll just mark this down. So each of these gives a chest. Okay, so I gotta solve this one. Which is just constantly getting up here.
At least good luck doesn't discriminate by clan.
Okay, how do I do this one?
Time to scout.
Oh boy. This one's gonna be a while to figure out. No invisible platforms around me either. Come on. Need the chest. All the chests. Okay, there's one more thing I can try. Alright, kitchen. Do I have kitchen? Yeah, I have kitchen right here.
Let's finish this quickly. Speed of light.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
Not bad, as far as treasure is concerned.
Alright, so just get me back to
What they do this time?
modern problems require modern solutions.
At least good luck. Doesn't discriminate by clan.
Let's head to the challenge area. Okay, maybe it's just my hyper team actually. Simply because I have access to the bow character.
May knowledge guide you.
Challenge here. Alright, we're moving up. Ah, wait, it was up there.
It's important to replenish your supplies often when you're out with...
Huh. Nice. You have to dive in. Oops, you hit all designated areas for your enemies. And
Let me weave you a burst.
Fallen Amber, help!
Shudder! Crush! Our bond is strong. Know my sword.
Fly!
Beg for mercy. More speed.
that's it. Okay, so 1. I'm gonna look these 12 points first. There's a Hydroculus over there. I'll check that later. Grab this first.
Rain outlines your fate.
The Giga Chat Hilly Cheryl.
Stand with me. Know my sword. Witness the power of Goop. Shudder.
And I've got luxurious
I can put
chest
these-
here.
Good use.
And there's also the main. Oh yeah, I got the Hydroculus. I got that first. And what the hell is that bit? That's 5 bro. And what is that thing on top of the tower? Mark it down just in case. And you know what? And stop. This is a domain there. Like that.
More speed.
Check out the next area. Golden fruits. Oh, is that a new fruit in the region?
Our bond is strong.
Rain outlines your... Beg for mercy. Ha! Stand with me. Shudder.
Our bond is strong.
Heroic body and mind. Know my sword.
Hi!
Crush. Beg for mercy.
Stand with me.
Shudder.
Then grab another tutorial and next area. Anything else the same thing? Yeah, it possesses 3 energy, also a balance in these sides may also attack with optimum. 3 balance should be the proper state. This is what medicines look like. Oh, you gotta get in the balance state.
More
This
speed.
one. Relays. Ah, look at the 2 doggies. Now die.
Beg for mercy. Crush. Beg for mercy. Crush. Know my sword.
Stand with me.
Shudder.
Play with me.
Let me weave you a verse.
Dissipate. Just like we rehearsed.
Beg for mercy. Crush. Rack and ruin.
Alright. Now we just get the chest and go to the next area.
At least good.
Fastest way there would be. I guess we can go from here. Yeah, let's go from here. Alright, and that chest over there. Let's grab it. Ah, is that another Giga Chat Helitro?
Yeah.
Bond is strong.
Yep.
Rain outlines your
Hi!
shudder. At least good luck
I got another chest over here.
doesn't discriminate by clan.
Oh, that's a glitch right there. Okay, it's gone.
More speed.
You know, that, there's teleport waypoint there, and a statue of the set. Wait, no, there was a teleport waypoint. It's just a robot dog. I've been bamboozled. Alright, let's go to this area first. It's south of here, so it shouldn't be too far. And also let's offer. I'll probably do the world quest off stream since I do not want to spend all that time reading dialogue. Mainly because it would kill my voice. So I think I'll just spend that time on stream. Is this a lamp? Yeah, this is a lamp. And that should be it. These puzzles, gives us treasure chests. Not wrong, but that's a great question. Who places that? And why did they place them here? Well, the more you think about it, the worse it makes you feel. So question will go away once it pops in your head. Every time it goes hard, they spin around like specters. That's got it. These puzzles in the wild are actually set up by the Adventures Guild. The aim is to train guilds of rookie adventurers. After all, places like ruins and dungeons are really dangerous. Most puzzles in the wild are safer compared to those deadly devices. Of this train puzzle, a rookie adventurer from the Adventurers Guild must have set it up. This person had no experience, so it ended up looking pretty strange. How's that? Makes a lot of sense, right? So it's a case of rookies training fellow rookies. Can't help. No one's born with work experience, so if you must have experience before you can do the job, then no one will be able to work. Yeah, if I know my straight puzzles, if that's the case. Can't wait. To be the kind to the others is to be cool to yourself. Oh, where you pop up from, look, gosh, stand on top of the box. Little miss, I'm not some nameless little girl. Behold, standing before you is the great artist Salsa, who will be future upon Pain's art scene. Oh, miss, is she a friend of Paimon? I don't think I will ever be addressed as Little Miss. Well, of course, look, it's much taller than you, although I'm shorter than the Mister next to you. The one said that one like well, I know go to bed on time. Oh, that big report, so I'll be a big sister in a few years' time. And you'll be a younger brother. Yay, big sis salsa. Well, it's not you too. But salsa, what are you doing here? Oh, is this canvas yours? Yes, the scenery is pretty here, so it's a great place to sketch. If it weren't for you, these ugly things, then I would have completed my painting a long time ago. Mister and Flying Little Miss, are you two here to sketch too? Excellent taste. Oh, I forgot to introduce Panos Paimon, not some flying little miss. He is Wild Rose, we are adventurers traveling around the world. Oh, so you guys are members of that evil organization? Oh no, I let my guard down. Your organization? Didn't Little Miss Paimon mention yourself? Those bad guys in green from that evil organization, they saw all these ugly things here and ruined all the beautiful scenery. I didn't realize you two were working. You two work together with those evil green guys. What am I going to do now? I'll say that. Forget it. Is there anything we can do to help? After a while, is a member of the Adventurers Guild. Alright, you're going to become one of the good guys now? That's the right choice. Sure, work together to beat the evil organization, so our eyes no longer get pointed by ugly things. Paimon doesn't understand what do we do exactly. Like, you can't just charge into headquarters of Adventurers Guild, right? That's why we have to do things one step at a time, so we should start with what's in front of us. Alright, Miss Paimon, please help me rearrange those ugly things. Great artist Solstice guidance is going to be a piece of taste, so don't worry. Okay, well, let's see. Well, let's give it a try. That all gut didn't grow on by the rose, but the roses won't thrive on underwater riverbeds either. Artificial different materials also have different environments as they are suited to clear and the crystal devices not go well with muddy ground environments. A bit better in an artificial sculpted or less natural environments. Here? Very good. Very good. Much better this way. Points, lines, and planes are all in harmony with every detail being executed flawlessly. Everything just looks so much more pleasing. That was right when he said there's no trash in this world that can't be saved, or resources in the wrong place. Oh, the final thank you for your hard work, and Lord has taken another step in the right direction. We didn't do much. Now that Paimon looks at it, everything sure looks better after we rearranged them. All we did now was change things around a little. The sense of this array from before is completely gone. Paimon thought you were actually a kid who was full of himself. Paimon didn't expect you to actually know a lot about composition and framing. Well, aren't we buddies who battle this evil organization? Just a little fade. There's no time with bleeding seal. It's just, don't be sad. Oh no. What now? We've got one guy coming home today. They aren't usually at home. Yes, because mom and dad are amazing. Amazing people are always very busy. Also very, very busy now, but it's nowhere near as amazing when I become a great artist. I can be as unreasonable as I want, just like mom and dad. Well, what does being amazing have to do with being unreasonable? Other than that, I'll check my homework and I'll get back to you. Even when I finish everything, as long as I'm not sitting at my desk, they'll say, Salsa, you're slacking off again. What are you going to do in the future if you play with brushes and paints all day? Here I'll tell them when I finish my homework, I'm too nagging, because no matter how reasonable they are, I can't get a word in because they're too brilliant. So I always pretend to be working really hard when mom and dad come home, even when I haven't finished my homework. Then they won't have anything to say. I say unreasonable things however I like, and I become as amazing as my parents or even better than them. This feels kind of wrong somehow. Oh no, I'm running late. If I don't make it, I don't go off now. It was nice to meet you, Wallace. Paimon. Thank you so much for helping. I'm gonna go home now. Be careful not to fall. Comes out with a canvas and box of drawing tools. It's like a little over. Children these days don't have it easy, huh? Thank goodness Paimon doesn't have homework. Paimon, oh Paimon, you're slacking off again. No, why was Paimon can hear you. Can't hear you. Hey, I like the viewpoint too. Go for that chest right now. Take care of these guys first.
No, my sword!
Oh.
Beg for mercy. I'll settle this. Stand with me. Rain outlines your crush. Dissipate. More speed. Witness the power of good.
Try this on for size.
Beg for mercy. Our bond is strong. No, my soul.
Oh god.
Shudder. Body and mind. Beg for mercy.
Life. Grab.
Crush.
Alright, let's grab this stuff over here. Okay, I'll do that stuff out straight. Let's go finish that first.
Brain cutter.
Just like we rehearsed.
Beg for mercy. Shudder. Crush. Dissipate. No, my sword. Witness the power of Gugwa. Shudder.
Try this on for size.
That's all I said.
Beg for mercy. Vengeance will be mine. Eye for an eye.
Okay, nice axe. Alien life. Oh god, is it aliens now?
More speed.
These are actually aliens. Oh, lava turtle.
Our bond is strong. No, my sword.
Let me heal. There's a session die when I hit.
Crush. Beg for mercy. Rain cutter. Stand with me.
these.
I can put these to good use.
Just 3. But that's.
More speed.
Hey, it's a boss platform right there. Oh, and the workshops.
Another test.
Bond is strong. Shudder. Yeah. More speed.
Suffocate.
Huh? Beg for mercy. Witness the power of Gua. Shudder.
Well done.
Beg for mercy.
Fallen Emma, help!
Stand with me. Shudder.
Suffocate.
Hi!
Crush. More speed. Dissipate. Time to ring cutter.
Go!
Shudder.
Try this on your son!
Crush.
Got these. Alright, let's do the next quest. I need a bit of a headache.
More speed.
Alright, we're back. Man on the board doesn't look right. Shouldn't be receiving naught but high praises. It wasn't like this before. Unexpected, yes, I expect foul play. Which Avas has in his wisdom prepared a contingency plan. But yes, why does the think he's the boss? Arbon Alair is the Fury in. He's got something for us apparently. Alright, time. Here comes the contingency now. What contingency? Well, that's you. That's the boss said, but he's not here right now, so let us explain. Here's our explanation, once again. During the last 8 days, we released the results of our champion duelist plans to the public. We also started pre-orders that allow people to pay half the price as deposits and thus qualify for early access. Then placed an evaluation column that is saved the message board at the door of our store, by which people can leave their confused praise. This is what they call the hype. This is the boss expected. Our store really did get very popular, but very few people placed orders, and the amount of praise left in the other column was also lamentably low. Here lacks sincerity. Where's the internal quality control? And get with the times. Such are the reviews we got. So looks like the marketing wasn't quite what you expected, huh? I feel things are not so simple. We have a saying around here, and that's where there's smoke, there's fire. There's nothing. They say that something never rises from nothing. Or someone is spreading rumors. Baseless, scurrilous rumors that smear us. That smear us irresponsibly. That irresponsibly invent disparages, fictions, and defamatory fabrications. The boss assured that his brother is the only one who is capable who can be behind the smear campaign. Upon horology has the most not to be worried if this plan succeeds after all. What do you want to do? Hire us to smear him right back? Hey, Marina, but how can you ever think of such things? Ross is Karen's elder brother after all. Even if they might stoop to such low vulgar means, we will defeat them fair and square. Only this way can the elder brother reform his wayward little brother. What are we needed for in that case? Get them to reveal the means by sincerity and internal quality control. Of course. Reveal what now? Is that not fair? And is Fontaine not the nation of fairness? That's not what fairness means. The law says that since everyone seems to think the other party's packaging has been done with sincerity, we should keep pace with it. We shall package the champion bills as the package adventurers, adding that to our wealth of data will guarantee us a comeback victory. Packaging? Nah, they're just turned an adventurer's tale into a toy, that's all. Oh, that must be it. Please ask them what it is. That store must be packaging you speak of. I do have heard of a little something that seems that while Karen was drunk, he has suggested that the toy was made due to a certain person. Imagine what a grand tale they must share to inspire such words from him. Oh really, you know, while I was past, I was curious as what that store might be. Why don't you go back and try asking? Okay? Oh, splendid, splendid. We shall leave this to your capable hands now, Paimon, Mr. Wabros. Alright. Let's do Karen again. Also, we got... Let's put that there. And... I don't really need any of these. Alright, Karen. It's Karan? Karen? How you been? Have you tried to rent the toy, by the way? Hey, Karen, actually, we got a little thing, something we want to consult about. And yeah, it's about the toy. Ah, how coincidence then. I enjoy these. So it's like the opportunity to nap, or just happen to be enjoying enough more to buy what you like to. Ask away. There's a story behind a toy. That's right, we heard that you based this toy on someone that's gotta be an adventurer who's the star of the tale, right? Ah, I see, so that's a question. Well, that adventure did indeed leave a deep impression on me. I met an adventurer in Springvale when I asked about what I was about to leave Mondstadt. I appears to have been some sort of miracle recognition. In any case, he found several ways of monsters on the way there, and not only have he missed the time, but the food has also been bumped about. Knowing a thing or two about cooking, I helped him make a new serving. But I'm sure it was nice of you. Well, but that's not all. You might find it hard to imagine, but that's one attempt at cooking results of accidents. Fire would get sweat, a bit cold, got gouged from the bottom of the pit, and while I was plating up, I was hit by some flying stones from out of nowhere. One of them even bounced off my head. Now that one really hurts. Well, the job did eventually get done, albeit with a complaint from a customer that it had cracked a tooth on a stone while eating. Lady Farina above. Surely it wasn't the stone that hit us on the head. Was this adventurer's name Bennett? That was his name. Oh, Bennett. Wait, do you know him as well? Interesting fellow, that one. Later, he took me to all sorts of rarely visited places in Mondstadt to show him things. It was a pretty rough journey, but the uncommonly beautiful sight made it worth the effort. Oh, taking him for a shop because they told me that he had discovered this place by losing his footing during adventures from getting lost. That's his bad luck. On the day of my return to Fontaine, he came to say goodbye, and there I asked him if he considered his own disposition bothersome. He just gave me a thumb up and said, "The world is full of all sorts of people, and maybe I just happen to be the unluckiest. But thanks to that, I've also become the bravest person, and that's given me access to sights only I can see." What a brilliant way of putting things. Walking the path of misfortune with a big smile on one's face. That's the true spirit of a true adventurer. But it's the most adventurous adventurer for sure. If bad luck can be infectious, perhaps that adventure spirit could be too. And with any luck, the latter can spread far further than the former. I wonder what the story give you enough materials for your report. Huh? I didn't figure that one out this time. Where to smoke this fire. That's what we say in Fontaine. If you really want to know about the story, you have to ask us for the first time, but since you're only doing that now, I guess that my brother put you up to it. So you really do know. You know, Paimon doesn't get why Lavir will have such a dim view. You're pretty smart, and you seem like a nice guy. His anger, I think. He's probably still mad at me for that he sees a betrayal. You're not betrayal. My parents is well known for his skills in making clockwork devices. I've always been good at making toys with that, so when my brother isn't quite as good, he's got a real knack of doing business. Since we both love toys, we agreed that when we grew up, he was the best toy store ever. But it was only when he grew up that he realized the son has to succeed in family business, that is to say, this shop. Father had a big fight with my father over that, and he went to strike out on his own. I, on the other hand, was convinced to stay, and that this is that not a betrayal? Does that really count, though? Well, it wasn't a show of adventurousness, that's for sure. I was afraid that if I failed to make a name for myself out there, I'd come falling back to family business. I just couldn't take that pressure. I've always been like that. I'd be the first to cry when we encountered some hooligans on the street, but my brother would me get behind him with a "Don't worry, watch me set enough wine with my knuckle sandwich." Relationship seems kind of complicated. Well, I suppose that's how things played out, eh? In any case, if you'll be here to any other questions, you're always welcome here in my store. So, we're dealing with a feud between brothers. Us, our two guests have returned. Because ever, I see. I suppose you gain much from your investigations. Huh, you know, Lavir, you always show up later. Huh, well, I suppose I am remiss. I shall try to come early next time. Anyway, about that toy. Tell Lavir about Brett Bennett and frowns. Toy based on adventure named Bennett? I see. And another thing, we didn't ask him, but Power thinks the bird didn't badmouth the shop. He doesn't look the type. Oh, also, he needs to be sorry about something concerning you. Well, when the consequences of distance is like camera justice works. After a while, dissatisfied no shows with their chest. Huh. Yes, me, I don't think that idiot would do something like that either. There was a whole contingency thing about. I was just looking for an excuse, I suppose. More likely than not, I say. Well, he is a businessman. Businessmen have reputations to consider. And he's the big brother, is he not? Big brother's got a name to uphold, you know? Say it any more and you'll eat my knuckle sandwich. Ah, the beer is exactly what Karen said he'd be like. Well, dear guest, I'm just thinking I should go pay that idiot a visit. Well, are you gonna pay your deficits and decide to go ask him for advice then? Of course not, but if he thinks he can betray me, I feel bad about that, but shouldn't I give him the opportunity to apologize in the face? He did say that, but Paramount doesn't think that's the sort of betrayal someone needs to apologize for. Well, it's decided. However, there's no need for any further pre-orders. Return all deposits as needed and keep that evaluation board. Oh, boss, so we're not executing plan anymore? What about the data collection? There's no time to make adjustments. No, the data collection continues. I have other plans for that. If you've got payments to collect, don't you? I always do honest business. Especially honest in that case. The boss is the boss, even when he's being stubborn. I wouldn't call this attitude towards toys completely worthless. I'll pay a visit to La Pod Horlogerie once the next few days of data collection are complete. I'd like you to come along too, good customers. I've got some other things to settle here in the shop, so if you excuse me. He's a second on time break. He's not really going to ask for apologies, is he? Oh, will you look at that? Our third party is developing an opportunity for a change once again. Third party? That's the two of you, of course. Thanks to you, the differences between the two shop owners may yet be resolved. This is what happened previously, too. Previously? Hi, I noticed I shop separated from La Paz Hologery by the Bloomfield Bank. I also really want to set the shop next to La Paz Hologery to compete with them directly. Now, I thought that they knew about the boss's history when they reserved that space, but in some way they became a mediator in the conflict, didn't they? That's super interesting. The two love to meddling in other people's business, but this sort of meddling is up close for sure. And that's the importance of third parties, just like how a double act still needs an audience. Oh, what about solo acts? Would things work with just one actor and one audience? What? Wait, are you trying to betray me too? You better watch out for my knuckle sandwich then. Alright, got 2 days. But let's just finish it before we go and do the other stuff. Alright, 2 days have passed. Mizukari's place.
More speed.
see you doing well, Karen. Bella, what are you doing here? You haven't seen you in so long, that's what you choose to say? I didn't expect you to come over and see me. I mean, our shops are quite close together, but you never came over. I thought you were still angry with me. You never talked about what happened before. I just want to ask you this. That adventure toy was made because of me, right? Sigh. I knew I wouldn't be able to hide anything from you. Right now, Paimon's confused. Wasn't the toy inspired by Bennett? Ah, I see you two are right as well. Sorry for not explaining previously, but I didn't know what to begin. All that adventure did give me the critical inspiration. My brother was the real reason the toy made. Let's see why it might be complicated. Karen, your modifications haven't changed one bit. You haven't changed either, brother. More convinced that you and the adventurer are the same type of person. I don't have a vision, nor am I an adventurer. You have the same adventure spirit, and it lives in an adventure, while you live for adventure. You pick that flattery up on me too? How can that be? You've never been a flatterer. You never hesitated to tell me that I never had any fighting spirit. And while the truth is frustrating, it is the truth nonetheless. You've always been trying to get the best toy merchant ever, but I acceded to the family's arrangements, continuing the cycle of clockmaking. One people like you and Bennett could turn their passions into their profession. I cannot. It would take 100 of me to match your courage. Don't say that about yourself. There's no point in hiding this. When my brother first stated his intention to move the shop next to mine, the first reaction was to consider moving the shop. Father would be ashamed, and rightly so. In the end, the Northland Banks took the spot and separated us. A happy coincidence again, you could say. Yeah, our mom told us about it. Do you really think the world is full of happy coincidences? That the Northland Bank just so happened to come between us at the time? What do you mean, Levere? I had reserved that spot long ago, but a new idea struck me, and so I transferred it to them for a low price. This didn't just come out of nowhere. And you were the one who got involved, huh? Do you think that your previous decision was too impulsive or something? Ever since I left, my goal has always been the greatest fun merchant. But what sort of greatness would that be if the family feud made my brother move away in the process, huh? That sounds a concern to my mom. You weren't just making excuses when you said you wanted Karen to apologize, weren't you? Apologize? I'm not apologizing. Did I ever say that? Oh, that's a real earnest denial, considering that you actually said it. I'm here to congratulate you, Karen. That toy is quite well made. It's been such a long time since I heard a word of praise from you, brother. I didn't think that. I also brought you a gift. Here's the data how these two adventures gathered over the last few days. It should help you create something even more interesting. But when are you going to make a toy champion duelist? That data's important to you, isn't it? That plan's suspended. All markets shifted faster than I thought, so some ad hoc adjustments will be necessary. But the data, how could I take it? You take it when I give it to you, obviously. In that case, I'll take it. For safety, feel free to reclaim it should you ever need it again. Master Levere's other plan was to give the data to his brother. I apologize to your customers that I did not ask for your suggestion first before doing this. It's fine. You paid us, didn't you? And this is your personal matter. This was totally worth it. Your relationship with your brother can be improved, right, Well Rose? Our thoughts are in line in this indeed. Guess that was a successful third-party intervention. Alright, Levere, Karen said that since we're all here, why don't we strike while the iron's hot? Work together on something. You're good at making stuff, Karen, and we can have Levere do the advertising. With you as a team, it's sure to work out. I appreciate good intention, but there's no need. I feel the same way. Wait, so this is what you two are gonna agree on? That Bennett fellow said this too, didn't he? The world is full of all sorts of people. So he did remember that part. What's full of all sorts of people? And they all have sights that only they can see. If they learn anything from him at all, it will be it. They're not just different people, which is why we're set on different paths. Perhaps he thinks that my path is too adventurous, and I, for my part, can't stand the kind of placid existence he lives. That's right, if the hour hand does the minute hand work, then it gets fired, without compensation the next day. And while intense challenges are an adventure, it is simply life not one as well. Everyone has their own journey of adventure. Since we each chosen one direction, let's walk them the path we seek and our own unique sights. I got occasion to meet with you. After all, the road will be quite difficult. Yeah, don't worry about me. I found out how to enlist third parties to help me out at the gym. I didn't sit around waiting for these adventures or nothing they tell me, but let me tell you that. Now what we do when there's a problem that even a third party can solve. I'm sure you know how the step of the gear is, so let's throw a rope. I'm worried that if we meet, we'll meet. What else can we do, huh? That's just life. No, you won't be defeated by life, just like Ben. If things improve otherwise, yeah? I'll send you flying with a knuckle sandwich. Hey, Brad, listen to yourself. Talking to a big brother like that. Don't get too cocky. Well, if Life Brain can stay on the judge's desk for a while, then a little brother can borrow his big brother's lights, right? I see you figuring out spontaneous out. I'd like to ask you something, so if you're free, please meet me outside my shop later. Let us say, Karen, I'll be heading back now.
Can we play bingo next time?
Alright, you're here. I seem to be in a good mood. Thanks to your help, speaking of which, Karen's trip in Monster gave me an idea. I was super travel for a bit, find some special toys. You travel the world, you probably know some friends like that Bennett. Do you have any suggestions for me? Well, you have a lot of friends, but when it comes to inspirations, that might be a bit tough. I don't look for a third party. There's a valid third party, aren't we? What about? Aren't you the Northland Bank? Oh, you mean the previous third party? Oh, left time up. The Northland Bank under the 2 and the 3 are under referring to a harbinger? Do you mean that we can make it toy themed after a harbinger? Huh? Or do you mean? Oh, Paimon gets it. Hey, Lavere, do you know that this special harbinger, whom they call the greatest tale salesman in Snezhnaya? What? Is there such a person? Of course, he's a real expert too, and maybe he'll inspire you. And you know, a toy merchant and a solo will make a pretty awesome farm. Thanks for the suggestion. They've been very helpful. I don't think it'll be that easy to contact the harbinger, but I do have some connections to Northland Bay. I'll see what I can do. Well, he's in jail right now, so yeah, it's gonna be a bit hard. And don't forget to invite us to try my new toy cockpit. Oh, I will. Keep an ear out for news for me. Alright. Alright, that's a neat little quest. Now resolve the fight between two brothers. Now we get the actually, I can do that off screen. Yeah, I think I'll do that off screen. There. And that's just a combat quest. And let's do Lenny's story quest, since we still got some time.
Hey, isn't that Charlotte?
I see.
Still got some time,
So
so
you
let's
believe
do
that this
Lenny's
warning
story.
letter was sent by the Phantom Weasel?
Okay, what's the Phantom Weasel?
Absolutely. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Phantom Weasel never acts as you expect. He must have faked his own death 10 years ago using a body double. Now that he's back, I'm sure the guards who worked on his case back in the day are in for a headache, but however this turns out in the end, the one thing it won't be is boring.
Couldn't agree more. As a journalist, I'm gonna get a lot of mileage out of this one. Thank you, sir, for your time. Now, whom should I interview next? Huh? Hey! What a coincidence! Fancy meeting you here. Perfect timing. So, the Phantom Weasel's latest warning letter. What are your thoughts?
Phantom Weasel?
Yeah, this is the first time we're hearing of this one. Could you clue us in?
Huh? Oh, sorry. Yes, this case is from a decade ago. I guess you wouldn't know about it. Well, not to worry. You're in good hands because I'm a professional. The story goes like this. 10 or so years ago, a phantom thief became active in the court of Fontaine. Known only as the Weasel, nobody knew his true identity, and the authorities never managed to catch him.
Wow, cool! He sounds like one of those mysterious night burglars that you read about in novels.
Precisely. Well, except the part where they actually have a good reputation. Our weasel targeted whatever people held dear, and no one was safe from his predations. He would just as soon steal a necklace from a rich merchant's safe as he would a toy doll given to a commoner child for their birthday.
Sounds like an absolute weirdo.
I know. The phantom thieves you read about in novels rob the rich to pay the poor, but this guy did not discriminate. Unsurprisingly, this didn't work wonders for his public reputation. Every man and his dog wanted to see him behind bars.
Yeesh. So, did they catch him?
Not exactly. There's a good chance that the weasel would still be at large to this day if it hadn't been for an accident 10 years ago. A magician named Caesar fell to his death in a botched high-altitude escape performance. When the police went through his personal effects, they found a hoard of stolen loot and gadgets used for criminal activities. And that was how the Phantom Weasel's identity was revealed to all. Sure enough, thefts in Fontaine went down after Caesar's death. But today, 10 years on, the notorious thief has once again issued one of his warning letters and pasted it on the gate of the Opera Epiclese for all to see. I had to squeeze through the crowd this morning to get a photo as soon as I heard. Here, it's this one.
So, this is the warning letter, huh? Let's see what he wrote. 3 days from now, when evening falls, I shall take from you that which you hold most dear at the Opera House, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
This is, without a doubt, a clear declaration of criminal intent. After years of laying low, the Phantom Weasel is back with a vengeance. What once seemed like an open and shut case has been blown wide open again. But why has he reemerged now, and what does he want? I sense an epic scoop, and I'm going for it.
Uh-oh. If this thief will steal anything that other people value, does that mean even we might be targeted?
Rather trap you, little Paimon.
Aww. But Paimon doesn't want to get kidnapped. Well, he'd have to go through you first. You would stop him, right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, the people have spoken. It's clear that the
Lindy's up
public
there.
are very concerned about the Phantom Weasel's reappearance. Let's see, I've got a photo of the letter, my interview notes. Yep, that should be enough to form the skeleton of my article. It does feel like something is missing, though. Something exclusive. Who should I interview next? I need someone with a more concrete connection to the weasel. Is that who I think it is?
Lenny!
They need to perform some magic.
Magic. Magician. Caesar! The Phantom Weasel! That's it! Let's go interview Lenny!
What does Lenny have to
The
do with
original
this?
Phantom Thief Caesar was a magician too! And what do Phantom Thieves and magicians have in common? They both have an air of mystery about them. Perhaps there's a connection there.
Are you serious? What sort of a deduction is that?
Oh, relax! My journalistic instinct tells me that an exclusive news story is beckoning. Let's go! No time for delay!
Alright, what does Lenny got to say?
Wow, Mr. Magician! How did you know which card I picked?
Oh, it's simple. Come closer and I'll let you in on my secret. Magicians have a special skill called telepathy, which means we can read other people's minds.
Really? Then, what am I thinking now?
Well, first you need to relax, because I can see that you're clenching your fist in your mind, as if to say, no, I mustn't let him guess it.
Aww.
And now you're getting a little flustered. You're trying to find a way to empty your mind, to think of nothing at all. But the more you try to hide a secret, the easier it'll come out. You snuck out from home today, didn't you? You told your family a little lie so you could come out and play. Now, that's not a good
Got
habit.
him.
You can tell? Oh boy, you really can read my mind.
Of course. Oh, and that's the end of my performance. You should really be heading home. Remember to apologize to your family, all right? They must be worried about you.
All right. Got
You
it.
saw him. You saw
Bye,
him
Mr.
sticking out,
Magician.
didn't you?
Hey, Lenny?
Why, hello. We meet again. Are you looking for me? What's the situation?
Well, why don't you guess, Mr. Telepathic?
Oh, please. You didn't believe that spiel, did you? The power of telepathy is quite beyond me.
I'm sure that child would beg to differ. Seemed like you were right on the money.
That was nothing more than a little trickery. I made an educated guess based on his micro-expressions. That, plus the fact that he was the only kid here without his parents, and he looked as guilty as sin. He made it easy for me. You guys, on the other hand? Let me guess. Don't tell me you're here for the Phantom Weasel, are you?
Wow,
Yeah, got it.
won! Is
Ow.
this more of your trickery at work?
Wait, really? No trickery this time. It was pure luck. His warning letter's been the talk of the town, so I figured that maybe you were asking around about that.
Bingo!
Yep.
I plan on writing a column reporting on the latest news about the Phantom Weasel. So, Lenny, what are your thoughts on this infamous thief's reappearance?
To be honest, it makes me angry.
Angry?
Huh?
Why?
You read his letter, right? The Phantom Weasel claims he's planning something in 3 nights' time at the Opera House. That's the night I'll be performing there.
What are the chances? Wait a minute, you don't think he's after you, do you?
Well, if he is, then his warning is clearly a direct challenge to me personally. And if he's not, then it's still going to be a huge headache for me. The mere mention of the Weasel's name is enough to scare people off. So once the contents of that letter get out, barely anyone will be showing up to watch my show. But I've been preparing for this for a long time. I'm not about to let him ruin my big day. This leaves me with only one choice. I have to expose the Phantom Weasel's identity before the show begins.
Really? So what you're saying is, we might get to see a live duel between a famous magician and an infamous thief? Wow, this has exclusive written all over it.
To be honest, I'm not sure if I'll emerge the victor. The Phantom Weasel is a notorious crook, infamous for his inscrutable methods.
You're being far too modest, Lenny. I think your magic tricks are even more inscrutable than those of a thief.
Thanks for the compliment, though I have to say, I don't care much for the comparison. A lot of people liken magicians to thieves because we both have the ability to make things disappear without the person noticing. But there's an important difference that these people overlook. Allow me to demonstrate with a quick magic trick. Here, I have a flower, just an ordinary flower that was picked not long ago. Watch it carefully now. 3, 2, 1.
It's gone.
It's gone!
That's the question.
Let's go.
Where did it go? Therein lies the difference between us. Thieves make precious things disappear, but only magicians make them reappear. If I could now invite you all to check your clothes, there might be a surprise in there somewhere.
A surprise?
Hey, it follows on me. Huh.
It's right there! But how? You haven't moved this whole time!
What an outstanding trick! Sorry, Lenny, it seems that my previous praise was woefully inadequate. Clearly, magic is the superior art form to theft.
Don't worry, I didn't take offense. I just wanted to take the opportunity to perhaps change some of the preconceived notions you might have about magicians. Since Caesar's death, a lot of people associate magicians with criminality. It can be quite frustrating.
I can imagine. Coming back to your trick just now, might I presume that you are well versed in floral symbolism? For example, magicians often use rainbow roses in their flower-related performances to represent passion and romantic encounters. But you used a Lumidu spell, which, if I'm not mistaken, allude to separations. I'm curious to know if there was any deeper meaning behind this choice.
Impressive knowledge. It's no wonder you're such a successful journalist. But I'm afraid I don't know the first thing about floral symbolism. I'm just in the habit of using Lumidu spells in my magic. It sounds like something I should look into, though. I'll buy myself a copy of Fontaine's Floral Language Facts when I have some time. But it'll have to wait until this Phantom Weasel business is behind us.
Well noted. In that case, this brings us to the end of our interview. I, for one, am looking forward to the final
let's catch
showdown
this
between
thief.
you and the thief. Please feel free to get in touch to update me on any further developments. Otherwise, I will of course see you at your show in 3 days' time. But let's hope the Phantom Weasel is caught by then. If there's nothing else, I'll be off. You've given me lots to work with here, and I've got no time to lose if I want to write that exclusive piece. I'll see you all later.
So, Lenny, are you gonna tell us how you did that flower trick now?
I'm afraid that's my little secret.
Aww.
No, I'm not gonna tell us.
Well, magicians are entitled to their secrets. But Paimon's really itching to know how it's done. You feel it too, right? So itchy.
Phantom Weasel, you sure you'll be able to handle him?
Not so itchy then, huh? Well, since you're so concerned, how would you like to serve as my temporary magician's assistants and help me investigate?
Magician's assistants? Oh, that sounds fun! Assistants are technically magicians too! Also, it'll bring us one step closer to figuring out how that darn trick is done! Shall we go for it?
We'll help you do the investigation.
Excellent. Thank you for
I don't
putting
really
your
want to
trust
know.
in moi. The first thing we need to look into is who Caesar really was. If he truly was the Phantom Weasel, that means that the Weasel is dead, and whoever wrote this warning letter is just a copycat criminal. But if he wasn't the Weasel? Well, that'll make things more interesting. It would mean that the Weasel lives, and he's been laying low all this time in some corner of Fontaine. And if we're investigating Caesar, his fiancée Gemma is a good place to start. Word is that she visits the cemetery often, so I asked Lynette to wait for her there. We should make a move. Let's go and rendezvous with Lynette.
No. Read this. Now just go up.
You took your time.
Sorry, I bumped into the Traveler and Charlotte en route, and we ended up chatting for a while.
It's been a while, Lynette. We're working as Lenny's temporary assistants in the investigation of the Phantom Weasel.
You got the kitty here. Damn it, kitty.
Thank you. It's good to have you helping.
So, what's the situation? Have you seen Gemma?
Nope. I've been here a while, and she still hasn't shown up.
How bizarre. Maybe it was bad intel. Well, we won't get anywhere by standing around waiting. Traveler, Paimon, let's go ask around.
That's these guys.
Excuse me, good sir. Do you by any chance know a Gemma?
Gemma? You mean Caesar's fiance? Sure I do. What's this about?
I'm just trying to get a hold of her because I need her help with something. I heard she
Hey,
comes
there's
here a
a
lot.
chest in the back.
Yeah, she does. Poor thing. It's no secret why either.
Hydroglifs,
She's
too.
heartsick. Ever since Caesar passed away, she's been coming here once every week to clean his grave. Often, she just sits there in front of his headstone, lost in thought. Sometimes she talks to herself. I asked her what she was doing once. She said she wanted to speak to him again. She knows he's gone and can't hear her from the grave, but she just likes to spend time there, telling her fiancé all about how her life is going.
And she's been doing this ever since Caesar passed away? Oh, so 10 years. Wow. Their love must have been really strong.
I'll bet. Caesar's reputation fell apart after his identity was revealed, so no one else visits his grave. Gemma's the only one who still thinks about him after all these years. I don't know if the mind lives on in the waters after death, but if it does, I'm sure Caesar must be grateful to have someone who remembers him fondly. If I'm honest, I think this is all so unfair to poor Gemma. Her fiancé was a low-life crook. He doesn't deserve someone like her. Anyway, all of that said, she's running later than usual today. Normally, she'd be sitting in front of his grave by now. I wonder if she's okay. Well, that's everything I know, I'm afraid. You might have more luck asking some other people.
All right, well, thanks for sharing all of this with us. We'll keep asking around.
You're welcome. I just hope she'll be able to move on one day.
More speed.
Look at these two.
Did you hear the news? They're saying the Phantom Weasel's back.
You're kidding. Wait, isn't he dead?
I don't know anymore. All sorts of news flying around
Probably.
nowadays. I can never tell what's true and what isn't.
Wait, Gemma's the
What
flying
if-
weasel.
Just hypothetically, I mean, what if this weasel's the real deal and Caesar was framed?
Called it. Seriously, 10 years ago, on the day it all went down, I said to myself, you know what? This guy's been set up. The Caesar I knew was a good guy. He gave balloons to children on the street, for Pete's sake. What, are we supposed to believe that he was a balloon thief or something? Give me a break.
Gemma's
Oh,
the thief.
please. Weren't you the one cursing his name to high heaven when the police announced the news? You were all, that gosh darn lousy son of a, you think you know a guy, or words to that effect.
Wait, did I say that? I don't seem to recall.
Sorry to interrupt.
Hello there. Sorry for disturbing you, but I couldn't help but notice you were discussing the Phantom Weasel. We're actually quite interested in this topic as well, but we're struggling to get to the bottom of it. Do you think you could spare a moment to tell us a little bit about Caesar?
You've come to the right people. Yep, I was there. Back when Caesar used to perform magic tricks on the street. He was a great magician. The best trick I ever saw him do was pop a transparent balloon, only for a whole bunch of doves to fly out from the inside. I was right up close and didn't blink or look away once. But for the life of me, I still don't have the faintest clue how he pulled it off. Really incredible stuff.
I saw him perform too. He always used to bring some gifts along for the kids who came to watch his show, and he'd hand them out after he was done. Sometimes he even got the kids to write their wishes down, and then he'd make the items on the wish list appear in his next show.
He doesn't sound like such a bad guy.
But after he died, there were also rumors that he used the wish list to find out what was precious to people, with the intent to steal it later. As I'm sure you know, the Phantom Weasel would steal just about anything from anyone.
Whatever the case, now that the weasel is back, Caesar's become a hot topic once more. I bet Gemma must be pleased. If Caesar's name gets cleared, maybe it'll finally give her some solace after all this time. No, speak of the devil. That's her over there. If you've got any more
Hey, she's
questions
here.
about Caesar, she's definitely the one to ask.
So that's Gemma. Is it just Paimon, or does it look like something's wrong? Wait, it looks like she's injured. Come on, let's see if she's okay.
Hey, there she is.
Hi there. You're Gemma, right?
Who's asking?
Don't be afraid. We mean no harm. It looks like you're injured. How bad is it?
Thanks for your concern, but you didn't answer my question. Who are...
My name is Linny, and this is my sister Lynette.
My name's Paimon, and this here's the Traveler. We're investigating the Phantom Weasel.
The Weasel posted a warning letter this morning. If he still lives, that means that Caesar was falsely accused. You knew Caesar better than anyone else. So if you're willing, we'd love to hear what you think about all this. I promise you can trust us. We won't hurt you. In fact, we'll do all we can to keep you safe.
I never believed that he was the Weasel.
Huh. I suspected as much.
Yeah, figures.
Okay, so going back 10 years, do you remember anything strange in the weeks leading up to the accident? Did Caesar have a falling out with anyone, for instance?
No, not that I know of.
Got it. All right. Sorry for
Alright,
disturbing
so
you.
not much of a lead.
If you don't have any more questions, please leave. I want to be alone with him.
Judging by the look on her face, there's definitely something fishy about her.
She's lying. She definitely knows something.
That's
Doesn't trust
fair.
us.
We're just a bunch of strangers who showed up and started questioning her about things that happened a whole decade ago. It makes sense that she'd be wary around us. In any case, I doubt we'll get any further here, so let's call it a day. Meet me outside Hotel de Boer tomorrow, and then we'll start the next step of our plan.
Alright, gotta wait one day. Alright, in the meantime, let's go grab that chest. Go grab this Hydroculus. No! And another climb all the way back up there again.
More speed.
No, 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 no. Alright, there you go. Got the Hydroculus.
Our bond is strong. Shut her. Beg for mercy. I can put the...
Alright, chest here.
to good use.
Let's go activate that teleport point. Just have to keep heading up. Let's get this challenge first. Actually, first get the teleport point, then we do the challenge. Is it below me? I guess it's below me.
Time to scout.
And 9.
I can put these to good use.
Alright, and we gotta wait. Oh, no, we gotta wait till 8 to 12.
Over here.
Alright, let's roll an investigation test.
Lynette's not joining us today?
I've
Yeah.
had her follow Gemma and see if we can make any inroads with her. They should be at a cafe right now. Still, I don't think that Gemma's likely to open up to us. So, we need a contingency plan.
Where should we start?
Today, we'll be looking into a guy named Lorenzo, Caesar's former pupil and assistant. When Caesar passed away, all the stolen goods discovered in his home were confiscated and returned to their rightful owners. But Lorenzo was the only one privy to all his magic secrets, and he inherited his craft. Before long, Lorenzo was the next big magician in town, his fame surpassing even that of his master, and it made him very wealthy. He's since left the magic scene, though, and these days, he's a wealthy businessman with his fingers in a lot of different pies. I had to pull a lot of strings, but I managed to get him to agree to a couple of drinks with me. Be warned, though, I hear he's got a hair-triggered temper. We'd best be careful.
Okay. Let's go
More
here.
speed.
Go in. Get some information. I'm still calling it right now. Gemma's the Phantom Thief.
You neglected to mention that you were bringing 2 other people with you.
My apologies. These two are my assistants. When they heard that I was meeting with the former magic maestro himself, they begged and pleaded with me to bring them along. And if it's no trouble, a couple of autographs would really make their day.
Oh, forget the pleasantries, just sit.
Alright, what do you got? What are you gonna
Get
tell
a load
us?
of this guy. Forget the pleasantries, he says, but he looks pretty happy about Linny stroking his ego.
I only agreed to meet since we're both magicians. Do me a favor and cut to the chase. I have more important things to do than drinking.
Much obliged, sir. As it happens, the matter I want to address is also related to magic. Yesterday morning, a warning letter from the Phantom Weasel appeared on the entrance to the Opera House. He claims to be planning something for the same evening that I'm scheduled to do a magic show there. As such, I believe that I may well be his target. I have to get to the bottom of this to ensure that my show can go ahead as planned. Naturally, any investigation into the Weasel starts with a few questions about Caesar, who...
What is there to investigate? Caesar was the Weasel, and he's been dead for 10 years. So what if some sick creep thought it'd be funny to write a warning letter? It changes nothing.
What if it's not Caesar?
Are you trying to tell me you actually bought it?
Please, sir, no need to get so worked up. I do concede that a copycat is but one possibility.
Possibility? It's a fact, Linny. Look, my patience is limited, so listen carefully while I'm still willing to put up with you. The Weasel is dead. Period. Everyone knows that, so do yourself a favor and quit this investigation. It'll lead you nowhere. Look, if this affects your magic show in any way, I will personally compensate you for any losses.
Oh, sir, I'm honored, really. But this isn't about finances for me. My pride as a magician is what's at stake here, Lorenzo. Copycat or not, this person has thrown me the gauntlet, and I must meet their challenge head-on.
Your pride? Don't mince words with me, boy. Just tell me, what exactly are you seeking to do?
I want to find out the Phantom Weasel's true identity. I have to know for myself what really happened 10 years ago.
What would that accomplish? And what do the events of 10 years ago have to do with you, anyway? Look, you of all people should know that a magician never reveals their secrets. And in any case, dead men don't talk. So if you really care about your magician's pride, then you'll forget about Caesar and move on.
That's cool.
Uh-oh, this is getting awkward.
Lorenzo? Is that? Oh, it is you! I know that big, booming voice anywhere. What's up, my man? Want to grab a drink with me?
Another day, I'm busy.
Oh, come on. You can't be all business all the time. You know what they say? Live fast, die young. You gotta learn how to kick back and relax once in a while.
If I wanted your life advice, I'd ask for it. Now get out of my face and go be drunk somewhere else.
Sorry, my good sir. I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Oh, hey! Edmondo. He and I are business
This guy's
pals.
yeah,
We worked
this guy's
together a bunch of times. This is your first time meeting him? Oh, he's always like this. Foul-mouthed and hard-nosed. Never heard a kind word out of this guy the whole time I've known him. And he wonders why he can't get a girlfriend, despite being, what, pushing 40, 30, something? Anyway. Point is, a lot older than when he first got rejected by the girl he was into. And he's still into, from what I hear.
You're
Shut
just
up
spilling
and get out of my
everything
face.
about
Another
him.
word out of you and you can forget about doing business with me ever again. Do I make myself clear?
Sorry, I may have had a little too much to drink.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, I'm gonna leave. Don't work too hard.
Tell me more about the girl you like.
I think it's high time I made a move as well. If you really want to investigate this, Linny, be my guest. But if nothing good comes of it, don't say I didn't warn you.
Well, that fell to pieces in a rather spectacular fashion. Any thoughts?
Something strange about him.
Totally. And what was all that about compensating you for your losses? Why would someone you just met make an offer like that? He's gotta be hiding something. And not like Gemma. She was a little suspicious, but this guy's definitely covering something up.
Yeah. This guy's just went on
I
my
think so
sus meter.
too. We need to look into Lorenzo more closely. That guy Edmondo seems to know a thing or two about him. He only just left. Let's see if we can catch up with him.
Find Edmondo. And he's right here.
You okay there?
Who are you?
We just
Oh,
met.
it's you guys. Don't worry about me. I must have had one too many. I just need to ride it out. I say way too much back there, didn't I?
Yeah.
I nearly talked myself into complete financial ruin. Note to self, no more drunken chats when Lorenzo's around.
So, he was serious about threatening to cut you off? Ugh, Paimon knew he was a bad egg.
Hey, keep your voice down. Don't go prying into Lorenzo's personal affairs. Bad things happen to people who ask too many questions or make an enemy out of him.
What kind of bad things?
It's a
Don't even ask. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to cut this conversation short. I'm not crossing that line again. And take it from me, trouble with Lorenzo is one thing you don't need in your life. You saw him flare up back there. I don't know what you said to him, but clearly it touched a nerve. That's not a good sign. You're too young for this. Don't get in over your head. I'm leaving.
Dude, go get something. Go sober up, dude. Dude, go sober up.
And there he goes. What do we do now, Lenny?
Shh. I think we're being watched. Someone was listening into our whole conversation. Don't say anything and don't look back. Any altercation in the city will attract the guards. We'd better take this elsewhere.
That looks like Secret Service. Let's start over here. Please subscribe to the Steambird. Okay, Charlotte. I'll subscribe to the Steambird.
You followed us a long way. Why don't you come out and introduce yourselves?
So you're Lenny. And where's your sister? Ain't she with you today? Save us the trouble and go fetch her for us. Let's not drag this out.
Paimon doesn't like the tone of your voice, mister. Who sent you, huh?
Save your questions, missy. You ain't gonna need answers where
Okay,
you're
this guy's mafia.
Capiche?
Looks like we can't avoid this fight. Now, I'm not the strongest fighter, so I hope you're ready to back me up.
Don't worry, we got this.
Yeah, these guys are out of our league. We're out of their league.
Now disappear! Crush! Rain outlines your...
Hi.
Beg for mercy. More speed. Ha!
Curses. They're tougher than we thought.
Yeah, don't you think?
Vision wielders are always trouble. Intimidation ain't gonna work like it did on the lady.
Come on, let's scram!
Hey, wise guys, we ain't through with
Yeah, we
you
got
yet.
questions for you.
Oh, they got away. Did you catch what they said just before they left? Something about intimidating someone else. Sounds like they just wanted to rough us up as a scare tactic, and they've already done it to someone else, but who?
Could it be Gemma?
You're right. She was injured when we saw her yesterday, and she acted like she had something to hide. Maybe she was too scared to tell us the truth because those guys had threatened her.
Well, if that's the case, she should be more willing to open up to us once she learns that those thugs won't be bothering her anymore. Let's head back to the cafe and see if we can get any information from her.
Alright, the cafe. Fast travel here. Those cups are huge.
Gemma?
You again. What is it this time?
We just ran into the men who've been threatening you, and we gave them a taste of their own medicine. So, you can relax now. We're here to protect you.
What? Why? I didn't tell you anything. Why would they come after you?
Sounds like they're no strangers to you.
That's putting it mildly. I know them all too well, and I hate them with every fiber of my being. It's been 10 long years, and still every time I try to look into Caesar's death, they show up and warn me not to do anything stupid. How do I know I can trust you? Do you really think you can get to the bottom of it all? And why are you doing this?
I'm afraid I can't reveal all the details just yet, but I can promise you this. I will expose the Phantom Weasel's true identity. Because you see, this is a personal matter of the utmost importance. I give you my word. Trust me.
Redeem the title of magician.
Okay. How can I help you?
I've heard that Caesar used to have a magic workshop where he kept a lot of his personal effects. If possible, I'd like to take a look at them. Do you know where it is?
The Fleuve Sonde. But the place was sealed up by the police after his death, and no one's been there since. I also know that the Fleuve Sonde is dangerous territory. Lots of hostile groups lurking around. If you're serious about going there, please be careful.
Understood. Lynette, you stay here and take care of Gemma. Don't let her come to harm.
Got it. But if I'm staying here, I'm ordering dessert.
I mean, bon appetit. But stay sharp, too. They're likely to come for you while I'm away.
Okay. All right. Power saving mode off. I'll start taking this more seriously now. With me here, nothing will happen.
Wait, do I have to go on the ground? They have to go on the ground. Yep. Ah, I just fell down the sewers.
More speed.
Workshop's over here?
If Gemma gave us the right location, then the workshop should be right nearby. Huh. Looks like these boxes are blocking the entrance. Let's shift them away first. There we go. It should be just down here.
Oh, let's go in. I guess down this, I'm guessing. Yep.
So this was Caesar's workshop. Nothing suspicious here, just normal magic props. Let's head in further. What was that?
There.
Oh, is this one of Caesar's gadgets? Guess we must have triggered some sort of device.
There we go.
Stand with me.
Just like we rehearsed.
Witness the power of gold. Yeah, crush. Shudder.
Okay.
Whoa. Look. The doll in the box is glowing. There's something written on the card on this doll. Let's take a closer look.
Like little dove on Rockwell House. Parents mentioned on a pet, you also need to take good care of it. I'll probably try for you this time. If you're ready to own a pet, I'll make a real dove appear for you next time. A bucket of fried chicken that never runs out. I like a new bag. There's no shame in fried chicken that never runs out, just as that as there's no shame that children can never grow up. Seeing too much fried food is bad for you. Make sure you pair it with something healthy like a salad, alright? So you did have wish lists.
Looks like we've reached the end of this route. Shall we try a different one? These magic boxes are moving. What do we do?
One of them looks different from the rest. Let's investigate.
That one. And the other one. There we go. That opens that one. And we go this way.
That's weird. Have we reached the end already? There's
Yep.
nothing here. Maybe this was a wasted trip.
Hey, what are you looking for?
This place seems a little too ordinary for a magician's workshop. There's a distinct lack of mystery. We've triggered quite a few devices on the way here. I'm starting to wonder whether Caesar built this whole place as one big, elaborate magic contraption. If so, then there must be more to this place than meets the eye. Maybe a hidden room somewhere. Aha! If I just move this book, then hopefully... And...
A secret passageway! How did you know?
I'm a magician too,
Hey.
and apparently great minds really do think alike. Looks pretty big inside. Let's head in and take a look around.
Our bond is strong. No, my sword.
Crush! Beg for mercy.
I got this chest here.
More speed.
And next.
Stand with me.
Ring cutter. Body and... Crush!
We find anything here? We back here.
Why have you stopped, Lenny? Is there some device in that box?
Huh. It just looks familiar somehow. Let me check this out for a second while you guys go on ahead. If anyone makes a major discovery, let's rendezvous here.
Alright.
All right, see you in a bit.
Okay, we're gonna head up.
Oh, seems like we can't step on the same tile twice. Guess we've got to finish it in one run, huh?
Okay, this puzzle's gonna be a bit annoying.
More speed.
Okay, I think I might have an idea. That one to come here. No. Okay. Yeah, we can start a different tile. There we go. Huh? Ah, shaped like a top hat. Yeah, I got another room. Alright, what's in here?
Wow! There's a hidden room here! Let's see!
Oh, diary.
This book's thick as a brick! Let's take a peek inside it, shall we?
Not the wish list.
At one of my shows a few days ago, a child asked me how I pulled candy out of my hat. As a joke, I told the kid that the hat has a built-in wish-granting machine. Next thing I know, today a whole bunch of kids were pestering me to pull all sorts of things out of the hat. So I told them another white lie. The machine needs time to power up, but in the meantime, you can write your wishes down. Well, they took me up on that offer, enthusiastically. As I write this, I've only just got back from running around all over town, buying the things they wanted. Boy, are my legs sore. I wound up saving very little this month, but that's not a major issue. I now have a bigger problem. How am I going to hide all these things inside my hat?
About children studying magic.
2 children came to talk to me after today's show. I don't know why they were out on their own. They looked much too young to be unsupervised. I do hope they got home safely. Anyway, they said that they wanted me to teach them how to do magic. It's not uncommon for children to ask this, of course, but I've never seen any of them as serious about it as these 2. I told them that learning magic is very hard work, but that didn't faze them at all. It's like they already knew. And they seemed so committed. I couldn't turn them down.
About Lorenzo's issues.
It seems like something's bothering Lorenzo lately, but he won't open up to me about it. Surely he's not upset that I agreed to teach those 2 children. I'll have to talk him around. I have a good feeling about those kids. They're naturally talented, and it seems like they're not new to the world of magic. They have all sorts of fantastic ideas. All I'm really doing is helping them develop a more professional standard training plan. They wanted to call me Master, but I told them they absolutely mustn't. Any magician worth their salt could have taught them what I have. They're the geniuses here. Compared to them, I don't deserve to be called any sort of master. With time, I have no doubt that they could become far greater magicians than I. My only concern is why they're so mature for their age. I fear they've had to grow up too fast. I don't dare to imagine what they must have been through. Gemma thinks so too. She doesn't like being around them. Says that their eyes are too piercing. They don't bother me, but then again, I've never been the sharpest tool in the shed. It's nearly time for me to go on tour. I asked the 2 kids if they'd like to come with me, but they shook their heads. I once overheard them talking about their father and their mission,
Sounds like their parents have other plans for them. It's only been 10 days since I first met them, but I think that I've gotten a feel for their personalities now. They're very tough, but also very cautious, and they trust no one but each other. This, I fear, is not a good habit to have. They hide things from me too. For example, when I asked them where they live and why they wanted to learn magic, they lied. That's the thing about children. Whenever they're trying to cover something up, it always shows somehow. I can sense that their lives have been hard, possibly even dangerous too. They're not like other children. It's a after thinking things over,
God damn it.
I decided to tell them a bit about how I see the world. It's full of lies and falsehoods, and that is why we must find our own truth. P.S. I hope they won't find my nagging annoying. Children are so opinionated nowadays. Will it do them more harm than good for someone they've only known 10 days to lecture them like that? P.P.S. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Children aren't interested in grand philosophies. It probably just went in one ear and out the other.
Yeah,
I
that's
bet they've
true.
already forgotten every word I said.
Or maybe not.
Oh, Caesar, Caesar. Just mind your own business next time.
Stop reading.
Two magic geniuses with a father and a mission, huh? Sounds a lot like he was writing about Linny and Lynette, don't you think? So did they meet Caesar when they were kids? Let's go ask Linny.
More speed.
Rendezvous. Yeah, this does look like a top hat.
Linny?
Shh, hold that thought. As I expected, there's a lot of fishy things going on in this place.
Fishy? Uh-oh, what have you found?
All in good time. Before we go over our new leads, I want to tell you how a high-altitude escape is performed. First, the magician slots themselves into a magic box in full view of the audience. The box is then suspended high in the air, and a short while later, the base automatically opens. At this point, a dummy will fall out of the box, but it looks real enough to grab the audience's attention, and they start wailing and screaming. Meanwhile, the real magician, who has by now blended into the crowd, waits for a good moment to make their appearance and put on a hysterical performance. Oh no! Is that me? Did I just fall to my death?
Very vivid description. Paimon can really picture it. And then what?
The audience's gaze then turns to the magician, and by the time they realize what's happened, the dummy has vanished, as if everything that just happened was some sort of shared illusion. Of course, that's just how I think the process should work, theoretically speaking.
Theoretically speaking, what do you mean?
The inventor of this trick never performed it successfully. When the box opened, Caesar was the one who fell out, and not the dummy.
Huh.
He fell right to the ground from the highest point of the opera house. No one could hope to survive that fall. Not without a vision, at least. And no one else has ever attempted this trick since. My understanding of how it works is just based on what I could gather from his notes and the relevant gadgets here in his workshop.
So Caesar's famous high-altitude escape has never been done, huh? Paimon was about to say how cool it would have been to see it in person, but if it's that dangerous, it's probably for the best that no one else tries to do it.
Yeah.
Wait a second. So if a dummy's supposed to drop out of the box, then where does the real magician go? How does he get out?
Glad you asked. That brings us to the secret of said box. This box right here is the one that Caesar constructed himself to use in the performance, and it's not as simple as it looks. Inside, there's a device that only the magician himself would know about. Once the magician's inside and the box is lifted up into the air, the audience's view of the box is fixed at a certain angle. From where they're standing, they have a clear view of the front, sides, and bottom, but the back and the top are now no longer visible. At this point, the magician presses a button inside the box, opening a secret door out of view. He then escapes through this trapdoor onto the opera house roof, waits for the dummy to fall and distract the audience, and quietly returns to ground level.
That's way simpler than Paimon imagined. Even Paimon could probably do it.
So what does that do with the phantom
Well,
thief?
there's a little more to it than that, of course. The hardest part of this trick is controlling the audience's mood and reactions. That takes an exceptional degree of showmanship. There's the falling dummy, the miraculous reappearance, the pompous performing. Maybe the magician would even have themselves tied up before it begins to strengthen the impression that there's no escape. Many days and nights of careful research and painstaking practice would have gone into this, all culminating in a performance just a few minutes long, but one that still manages to transform the shock and grief of a tragic accident to the joy and laughter of a mesmerizing magic trick. Caesar was a highly accomplished magician. But unfortunately, even he didn't manage to pull it off.
So, how did it go so wrong? You said you found some fishy stuff here. Have you figured out what really happened?
I can make a pretty good guess. I looked into the case files. The magic box Caesar was using at the time of his death had the secret button I mentioned positioned on the right-hand side. And sure enough, he always used his right hand as his dominant hand in public.
Okay. Nothing suspicious there.
But here's the strange thing. Most of the devices in this workshop have the mechanism on the left-hand side, including this box right here, which leads me to believe that Caesar was in fact left-handed.
Not sure where you're going with
Because
this.
a magician can't afford to have their most basic habits stand out too much. People naturally focus their attention on the most important details of the task or situation at hand. But a magician needs to be able to redirect an audience's attention at will, so as to avoid arousing their suspicion. The essence of magic is getting people to believe a lie. If even the truth raises eyebrows, the falsehoods become all the more difficult to mask. And so, Caesar trained himself to use his right hand to align with his audience's expectations. Great magic always requires sacrifices. But in his most stressful and nerve-wracking moments, and when no one was watching, reflex would kick in and he'd use his left hand. That's why he set his gadgets with the mechanism on his left.
Maybe someone exploited that fact against him.
Exactly. I think that's likely what happened. Caesar would have been under a lot of time pressure during the escape. He'd have had mere seconds to open the hidden compartment, retrieve the dummy, then open the secret door and make a swift escape. But I'm sure he was confident. He would have rehearsed countless times to the point where it was second nature. He'd barely need to think about what he was doing because muscle memory would guide him through. So he opened the compartment, took out the dummy, checked everything was in order, and then went to leave. With his left hand, he reached for the button, and suddenly, his heart skipped a beat. It wasn't there. Much like when you reach for your
Oh,
keys
he
but
was
find
murdered.
your pocket empty, his mind needed a moment to process what was going on. Instinctively, his left hand would keep feeling around for the missing button, maybe for another second or two, until the bottom of the box gave way. With the stakes being as high as they were, just a 2-second delay cost him everything. The authorities would find nothing suspicious and conclude that his death was due to his own error.
When in reality, someone switched the boxes, and they did it to murder him. But how would they be able to make the switch without being noticed? That would be difficult to pull off, no?
It would have to have been someone who knew that he was left-handed, and who could move his props around without arousing suspicion. Someone who was always by his side. Isn't that right, Lorenzo?
You just couldn't let sleeping dogs lie, could you?
He was sus.
There's not a lot of people who'd go to all this trouble for some magician who died 10 years ago. I didn't want to have to do this, you know. Silent, but I gave you your chance.
Dude, what are you going to do?
I hoped you'd do what's good for you and back off like the lady, but you disappoint me.
You mean Gemma? So you are the one who's been threatening her!
Yes, although however stubborn she might be, she was never much of a liability. But you people, you never even knew him, but for some reason you just wouldn't drop it. Which is why you can't leave this place alive. Take them out, and make it quick.
Yeah, they're not gonna stand a chance. Oh, they're both leveled up. That might actually make a difference. Not really.
Beg for mercy.
Rip.
Crush. Yeah.
Rip. Easy win. Okay.
Stand with me.
This guy.
Rain outlines your fate. Let me weep. Beg for mercy. I condemn you. Dissipate.
Alright, easy win, dude. You're not beating us. Smack.
You kids are tougher than you look.
I literally fought a god.
Had enough yet, Lorenzo? Your cronies can't help you now. I think it's high time you started talking, and what I'd really like to know is, why did you murder Caesar?
If I had a Mora for every time you said that man's name. Of course you idolized Caesar, everyone else did. But I was the real genius magician. Me! He was just an amateur who did cheap tricks for gullible children. I was the one who made magic into the fine art it is today. The aristocrats doffed their hats to me!
So it was jealousy.
Huh. Blame him for crime.
Jealousy. Hatred, more like. I hated Caesar. All he cared about was his magic. He lived and breathed it. He poured everything into his street performances and his stupid tours like it was just a hobby to him, never bothering to think about Mora. What sort of fool devotes their life to the art of deception and never has a Mora to show for it? But the people loved him, didn't they? Oh, how they looked up to him. No one gave me a second look. All I ever heard was, "Oh, your master's amazing, isn't he?" Amazing. Yeah, so amazing that he was completely broke. Every other apprentice was living it up at their master's expense, but no, not me. I put in all the work, mastered all the skills, and it brought me nothing more than the life I already had.
Why didn't he just leave?
He forbade me from using magic to trick people out of their Mora. There was nothing he hated more than that. And with his reputation in Fontaine, it was too risky for me to go it alone. As long as he was alive, if I dabbled in my own brand of money-making magic, he would expose me, and it would destroy me. I had to kill him. There was no other way. He had to go.
It's a greedy asshole.
And this was your only motive?
It was reason enough. What other motive would I need?
Well, I was under the impression that there might have been other factors at play. For instance, maybe you were in love with Gemma, but she was engaged to Caesar.
In love with Gemma? Don't be ridiculous.
Guess I was wrong about that then. Next question. Are you the Phantom Weasel?
Yes.
Caesar was so strict with me. He insisted that his way was the right way, that the sole purpose of magic was to bring joy to the world. I never bought into any of that. I was more interested in the practical value of magic. Sure enough, it helped me fill my pockets with all kinds of valuable treasures.
But I heard that Phantom Weasel were rich and poor.
Oh, yeah! Charlotte told us that the weasel would steal whatever people valued, no matter how much it was worth.
That's just how it looked from the outside. What would any thief want with second-rate loot? I've only ever targeted high-value items. I stole cheap things as a way of practicing my craft. It was other people's overactive imaginations that conjured up the preposterous image they then dubbed the Phantom Weasel.
Okay, so the poor just target
So
practice.
that's the story, huh? Well, I hope you're ready to tell it all over again during your trial.
What choice do I have? You're a pack of wolves, and you've got me between your jaws. You've seen what's here, and my last-ditch effort to stop it getting out has failed. What else can I do? So be it. I've enjoyed power and wealth for the last 10 years, the likes of which Caesar could never give me. I wouldn't choose for things to end this way, but
Hey,
I
not
regret
doing well
nothing.
today.
Very well. In that case, I'll contact the guards. Traveler, Paimon, keep an eye on Lorenzo for me. I'll meet you just outside the workshop when I'm back.
No, just leave
At
the
least
workshop.
I can finally stop looking over my shoulder now.
More speed.
Okay. Let's turn this guy in. Turn this guy in and get our reward.
Lily has told me the whole story. Lorenzo, do you confess to the murder of Caesar and to framing him for the Phantom Weasel's crimes?
Yes.
Look who's finally developed a conscience. What kind of disciple murders their own master? I hope it was worth it, because there'll be hell to pay.
Looks like it's all over. What should we do next, Lenny? Should we start preparing for your show?
Let me think. Let's rendezvous with Lynette and Gemma first. With Lorenzo in custody, Gemma will no longer have to fear for her safety.
Good point. We should go tell Gemma the good news right away. It'll give her some peace of mind for sure.
More speed.
Alright, back to the cafe.
Ah, you're back. You were so quick. I've only just finished my third dessert.
Your third? Lynette, come on, we've talked about this. Everything in moderation. You're not gonna have any room left for dinner now.
Her dessert.
That's fine.
I'll shift to exercise mode and jog off the excess sugar.
That's besides the point. Well, it's done now, but try to eat a more balanced diet in the future.
Point taken.
Did everything go okay?
Yep, we caught you at the real
Lorenzo
thief.
was no match for us. The guards are taking him into custody as we speak.
Gosh, that's amazing. I'm sorry, I still didn't know if I could trust you, but now it seems I can. I had my suspicions about Lorenzo, but I...
Don't worry. We got him. Your husband has been vindicated.
It's okay, we understand. He did threaten you. Paimon would find it hard to trust strangers in your position too. But you don't need to be scared anymore. Everything's gonna be okay.
Sorry. Sorry. My emotions are all over the place right now. I've been waiting for this day to come for so long. I always wanted to report Lorenzo. He took all of Caesar's property, which I found suspicious, but I had people watching me all the time, so I couldn't risk looking into it. I was so afraid. I was scared he'd do something terrible to me, and then no one would be left to visit Caesar's grave. So I never had the courage to speak out. Thank you all. Truly. Thank you so much.
Okay, everyone go to the cemetery. Announce Lorenzo's arrest and hold him over for Caesar. Hey, happy end. Seriously, murderer's own master.
you all
just so he
for
can
clearing
go
Caesar's
start
name.
stealing shit with his magic.
I never would have guessed that Lorenzo was the real Phantom Weasel. He never showed any signs that there were problems between him and Caesar in public. From the outside, it looked like they got along great. And to think that lowlife's been living life to the fullest all this time, while Caesar's name was getting dragged through the mud. It's a travesty. At least his soul can finally rest in peace now, thanks to your efforts.
If only I'd realized before it was too late.
Don't blame yourself, Gemma. This isn't your fault.
Yeah, you still have the rest of your life to live. Caesar wouldn't want to see you spending it feeling guilty.
Cheer up, Gemma. My brother's doing a magic show at the Opera House tomorrow evening. Would you like to come along? It might raise your spirits. This show will be a special one. We're holding it in Caesar's honor.
Hey, let's go do the show.
Caesar's honor. Really? Oh, thank you. I'll be there.
Great. We'll see you tomorrow evening. Traveler, Paimon, don't be late.
Don't worry, we'll be there. No way are we gonna miss out on a free magic show. Wait, Paimon feels like we're forgetting something. Oh yeah, Caesar's diary!
Oh, 2 kids.
We never found out if the 2 kids Caesar taught magic to were Linny and Lynette or not. Linny changed the topic back in the workshop, so we didn't get a chance to bring it up. Oh well. Guess we'll just have to ask Linny
later.
tomorrow evening.
Alright, just gotta wait. Alright, back to the Opera House. I'll do the quest later. Alright, let's see the show. Alright, now we take our seat. Hey, Charlotte's here.
Paimon's excited to see another of Linny's magic shows! Wait. Lynette, shouldn't you be on stage by now?
Not this time. My brother's going solo today. So, I'll be watching with you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's ready because the show is about to begin. The great magician Linny has prepared a spectacular show for us all tonight, concluding with an all-new grand finale that no audience has ever seen before.
Wow! A new trick!
Thank you all so much for coming. Now, prepare to join me on a journey through the mystical and miraculous.
Alright, let's see the cutscene.
Exciting stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it's just... It reminds me of him.
No wonder. Caesar was a famous magician too. So, how did you two first meet, Gemma?
Well, I was out on the street once, and I saw him performing for little children. Children love magic, because they're willing to believe in things that can't be rationally explained. Caesar had this amazing way of bringing them into a dreamlike world. And somehow, I felt drawn to him too. So I went up and asked him to do a trick for me.
Aw, that sounds so romantic. What trick did he do?
It was with a flower. He took it in
Hey,
his
that's
hand,
what-
snapped his fingers.
That's what Lenny did.
It magically appeared on my head. I was so happy that day. No one had ever given me a flower before that.
Oh, that's so cute! Actually, now that you mention it, Linny's done that one before.
Is that right? Then I suppose he's a romantic at heart, just like Caesar. So let's treasure the time we have with him. After all, you never know when the people dearest to you might be gone.
Don't be sad. The killer has been caught.
That's right. It's all over now. Paimon doesn't really know how to comfort you, but at the very least, no one's gonna be intimidating you from now on. You can breathe easy at last, right?
Right. Yes, you can breathe easy now, Phantom Weasel.
See? Even Lynette says... Wait, what? The Phantom Weasel? Lorenzo escaped? Where is he?
What do you mean, Phantom Weasel?
As Linny once said, a performer's job is to commit fully to their role and put on a flawless performance for their audience. But once the bag of tricks is empty and the curtain falls, it's time to end the show. The spotlight is no place for someone with no more cards up their sleeve. It's been 10 years, Gemma. Aren't you tired of the grieving widow act? I think it's time to put an end to it.
Wait, I was right in the first place.
Paimon doesn't like this riddle. Traveler, Paimon doesn't like where this is going. Come on, say something!
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all enjoying the performance so far. There will now be a brief intermission, after which Linny will perform the most electrifying act of tonight's show, the one we've all been waiting for. The final performance will take place outside of the Opera House, so please make your way outside in a calm and orderly fashion.
I was forgetting about that.
The Phantom Weasel never did like public places, did they? Don't worry, this place will be quiet soon. Let's talk somewhere else for now.
You also quiet and asked about the truth.
More speed.
And upset son out the house. Wait. There she is? Wait, if she's the Phantom Weasel, then who was Lorenzo?
Dear me, this is awkward, isn't it? And unfortunately, I'm all out of gadgets, so I'm afraid I can't do any tricks to liven up the mood. This is a big mistake for a magician to make, but thankfully, I do have a backup plan. Now, who wants to hear a story?
Lenny, don't we have more important things to address right now? Lynette accused Gemma of being the real Phantom Weasel a moment ago. Oh, what the heck's going on?
All in good time. Magicians are good at guessing what people are thinking. I know the questions you want to ask. And as it happens, the story I'm about to tell might answer a few of them.
Really? Well then, let's hear it! Paimon's dying of curiosity here!
Let's go back to the very beginning. A decade ago, when the Phantom Weasel was terrorizing the court of Fontaine. She never missed a target, never left a trace, and no treasure was safe from her thieving hands. But as her infamy grew, so did the readiness of the police, and her opportunities to act became ever fewer. Every day, she ran the risk of being exposed for who she was. Of course, she could not simply take this lying down, and before long, she found her ticket to freedom. She would create a scapegoat, a false weasel to close the chapter on her behalf. After weighing her options, she set her sights on a renowned magician, Caesar. After all, magic and theft shared enough similarities for people to buy the story when the truth came out.
So then what?
Being the master deceiver she was, the weasel easily earned Caesar's trust. Now, all that remained was to frame him for her countless crimes. But as she was considering how to make her move, she noticed Caesar's aggrieved pupil, and a new thought entered her mind. Maybe I don't need to get my hands dirty after all. At her encouragement, Lorenzo tampered with Caesar's magic box, causing him to fall to his death. Afterwards, Lorenzo seized his master's property, and the weasel set about tarnishing Caesar's reputation. Two co-conspirators committed the perfect crime.
Oh, fucking hell.
I've got to hand it to you. You're both exceptional
So she
storytellers.
was the mastermind. Lorenzo
It's enough to
was
make
doing
even
her
me
bidding.
wonder whether there was really another mastermind behind all this, pulling the strings. But I just have one question. You seem to think that I am the villain in this tale. What's brought this on, Linny? Is it something that Lorenzo said?
Don't worry, Lorenzo said nothing at all. But I never believed that he was the weasel, and in fact, my investigation only made me more certain of that. He was too forthcoming with his confession, as if there was something else he was trying to hide.
How disappointing. So you'd sooner trust Lorenzo than me? Even without a shred of evidence?
A magician is an expert at playing the audience to get the result they want. And I have no doubt that you, Gemma, are equally talented in this regard. With a little help from Lorenzo, you put on a very convincing performance. The lovesick fiancé, whose devotion to her betrothed is unshakable, even under threats of violence. Caesar was maligned and hated by all for 10 years, but you? Everyone sympathized with your plight. Who would suspect for 1 second that the lovely young lady always seen weeping in front of Caesar's grave was actually the mastermind behind his demise? No, not that poor lady. Perish the thought.
Wait, so you mean the whole intimidation thing was just a hoax? Gemma and Lorenzo were both in on
Yep.
But why would Lorenzo agree to that? And why didn't he sell her out, even at the end, instead of admitting to being the weasel himself?
Yes, why indeed? Maybe Gemma herself could enlighten us on that question.
Well, Linny, if you're so confident in your version of events, then I think the answer should be obvious. Having killed Caesar with his own hands, Lorenzo was plagued by overwhelming guilt. Revealing the Phantom Weasel's true identity would serve no purpose. But if the Weasel remained free, then she could take care of Lorenzo's loved ones.
An excellent answer, though sadly a little dull.
Is that right? Well, don't let me bore you. If you'd care to change the topic to something more interesting, I'd be much obliged.
As a matter of fact, there's one thing I'd really like to understand. Why would the real Weasel have targeted things that only have value to other people? Could you shed any light on that?
Of course. After all, we're just telling stories here, aren't we? If I had to guess, I would say that the real Weasel must have had a terrible childhood. Left to fend for herself after her parents died young. Betrayed, scorned, beaten. She'd scrounge waste paper from garbage bins to draw on, using twigs and dirt for lack of ink and pen. She'd sew ugly rag dolls from whatever scrap material she could get her hands on. This was her only source of happiness in life. But it was all she needed, and she was content. Until the world decided that even this was too good for her. Once again, she was betrayed. And this time, everything was taken from her. She felt like life was a miry pit that dragged her further down the more she struggled to escape. At that tender age, she should have been happy. Instead, she stood in the shadows and watched with envy as all good things in the world passed her by. This was a fate too cruel for anyone to bear. Her pain became a breeding ground for dark thoughts. Thoughts which festered and grew into a twisted solution to her troubles. I detest the happiness of others, in all its forms alike. I will rob them of everything they hold to be good and true. And it will fill the void in my soul.
Stealing items of values to enact revenge on
Some
others.
pretty heavy stuff.
Now it all makes sense.
Does this story satisfy you, Linny?
Yes, it is quite to my tastes. Thank you for helping to clear up my confusion.
The one with the warning letter.
Huh. That's right. What drove you to write that letter, Gemma? What were you trying to achieve there? Because without that, none of this would have ever come to light.
She didn't write the letter.
After 10 long years, I'd hoped that the Phantom Weasel would be consigned to the history books by now. But it seems like someone still wasn't ready to let her finally be at peace. Linny.
Well, then he wrote the letter.
Or should I call you the Phantom Copycat now? You were the one who posted that letter outside the Opera House. But why?
Very sharp, Phantom Weasel. Still as shrewd as ever. Well, no need for me to be coy about it. Our goal was to clear Caesar's name. The most straightforward way to change the public's impression of Caesar was to force the Weasel to show themselves.
That's it? You had no other agenda?
Of course we did. We made it quite clear in the letter, I believe. I shall take from you that which you hold most dear, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
10 years ago? You mean Caesar's death? You met him? Wait. Oh, I get it. You were those two obnoxious kids. It's been so long, and you're all grown up now. I didn't recognize you. He taught you magic back then, didn't he? For what, 10 days or something? And you went to all this trouble. Why? Because you feel like you still owe him something?
We remember all our debts, however great or small. 10 years ago, Caesar's reputation was torn to shreds and his legacy was thrown out. 10 years on, and no one cares what the truth is anymore. But we
payback.
did not forget. And so we came to find you.
And? What exactly did you take from me? I'm still standing, as you can see. Lorenzo has admitted to everything.
Guards are living
I'm
nearby,
free.
aren't they?
Free? Do you really think so? Caesar once told me that even though the world is filled with lies and falsehoods, we must find our own truth. I think that applies to you too. Truth can take many forms. Prized possessions with nostalgic value, fervent hopes and dreams, and irreplaceable people. Life took many things from you, and those wounds never healed. When they ached unbearably in the dead of night, stealing became your way of numbing the pain.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that for the last 10 years, you've been living a rather uneventful life. Perhaps that's because you found something other than a life of crime to fill the hole? Back to Lorenzo for a second. He murdered his own master, played along with your act, and took pains to make sure any suspicion would be directed towards him. But what did he have to gain from all that? He knew who you were and the things you'd done, and despite that, he was willing to give everything up for your sake. He's the reason that you haven't felt the compulsion to steal in all these years. You're more than just accomplices in murder. You're the only real friends each other has. So I think you know, deep down, that he is the only truth you have in your life. But that truth is gone now, and I guarantee you, you'll never see it again.
So it took Lorenzo away from her.
Congratulations on your freedom, Gemma.
Well, congratulations. You played yourself.
Your freedom will cost you dearly. From now on, you'll be all alone in a world full of lies and falsehoods. I do hope you'll be able to bear it. You've still got a long life ahead of you after all.
Gather round, one and all. The time has now come for the amazing Linny to perform his final act in tonight's show. I'm sure you're all wondering what he has planned for the grand finale. Well, wonder no more, for the answer is a death-defying high-altitude escape.
A high-altitude escape?
The trick that Caesar died attempting.
I'm sure you all remember the magician Caesar. This was the very trick that led to his fatal fall, after which he was dubbed the Phantom Weasel. But we have now learned that Caesar was wrongly accused, and that the real Weasel has now confessed to their crimes.
Guess that's my cue to leave. Whew. I've been practicing this one for ages now, but I'm still a little nervous. Traveler, Paimon, I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Congratulations, Gemma.
There
You
may be a
played
lot
yourself.
of people watching tonight, but you alone
And fucking
are
called
my
it from the
true
beginning.
witnesses.
Lenny, wait. You two hid a lot from Caesar. He went to his grave without ever knowing your secrets. So what about now? Are you an open book? Or are you still the same as ever? You don't have to tell lies to end up isolated and alone. One day, you'll end up exactly where I am today. Maybe then you'll finally understand.
You're wrong. I'm nothing like you.
So, what are we, doing now?
Like Linny said, when you're ready, let's head outside and watch the show.
But what about Gemma?
She'll figure out what's best for her soon
Oh,
enough.
well,
Oh, and if you'd like to see Linny after the show, you know where he'll be. The usual haunt.
All right. Well, let's go and watch Lenny's finale then. This trick's a pretty dangerous one, but he should be able to pull it off, right?
Alright, let's go watch the
More
show.
speed.
Why is it pointing me to go out
More
here?
speed.
Wait, is the trick taking place outside?
More speed.
High up on the roof.
Magic should be mysterious, surprising, and defy logic. Magic is hard work. Every single movement has to be practiced thousands of times.
It's alright. We're used to that.
We're sorry. You've taught us so much, but we can't tell you the whole truth.
It's okay. Do you still remember what I told you? This world is full of lies and falsehoods. I only hope that one day, you can find your own truth.
What about you? Have you found your truth?
Magic is my truth. I want to perform a magic trick so great that people will always think of me when they talk about it. For a magician, what greater honor could there be?
Look! Behold! Linny is sealed inside the box. Will he manage to escape? 10 years ago, Caesar attempted this very trick, and it was at this precise moment that...
Watch out!
They'll be fine.
Mysterious. Surprising. And logic-defying. Isn't that right? This honor belongs to you, Caesar. I'm just sorry it's a little late.
Did you see that? 1 minute he was falling, and the next, he turned
Yep,
into
that's it.
flowers.
You'll be fine.
How could he possibly have done that?
How mysterious. I didn't blink once. He just vanished, right in front of my eyes.
What a heart-stopping magic show! This was really worth the trip. Caesar's name has finally been cleared, and Fontaine's new star magician Linny has fulfilled a wish on his behalf. Oh, I couldn't ask for a better grand finale. It will make a great headline for the Steambird tomorrow, even if I do say so myself.
Looks like everyone really loved Linny's grand finale.
Even though they don't know the full story.
Paimon doesn't see Linny anywhere. Where'd he go? Oh, Lynette said he'd be waiting for us at the usual hunt. But, where is that?
The cemetery?
Oh, you mean the one where Caesar's buried? Yeah, that's probably it. This whole magic show kinda seemed like Linny's way of saying goodbye to Caesar. So it makes sense that that's where he'd be afterward. Alright, let's go look for him there.
This double. So, yeah, this quest's pretty good. I was definitely caught off guard. I originally suspected Gemma.
There you are.
Then I suspected, oh, Lorenzo's sus. Got that confirmed.
Are you alright?
And it turns out my original
Paimon was
hypothesis
scared
was
to
also
death when
true.
the chain broke. Paimon was sure something had gone horribly wrong.
Magic is a performance art. A magician has to get creative to keep the audience on tenterhooks. That's our job. So I tweaked Caesar's original setup a little to keep it fresh. I was honestly a little nervous during the live performance. The thought of falling, suddenly feeling weightless, seeing the sky and the ground spinning and spinning. Sometimes, I can't help but wonder what Caesar thought in those final moments. Did he regret taking Gemma and Lorenzo on? Or did he believe that it was his own slip-up right until the end?
You know, Paimon's been wanting to ask you about something ever since we were in Caesar's workshop. You learned magic from Caesar once, didn't you? When was that?
After I joined the House of the Hearth. To be honest, Lynette and I had an agenda when we approached him.
An agenda?
I told you about my past before, remember? As a young boy, I survived by secretly learning magic from street performers. I'd watch their tricks and try to figure out how they were done. But I quickly realized that observation alone could only get me so far. What I saw was the polished final performance, but the rigorous training they put in behind the scenes remained invisible to me. I needed to learn how to improve my sleight of hand, hone my misdirection skills, and make niftier props. We were gifted enough that we'd made some progress by ourselves, but without proper guidance from a professional magician, we quickly plateaued.
So that's why you sought Caesar out?
Yes. We figured there was no harm in asking, but it took us by surprise that he was so willing to teach us. In all, we only spent 10 short days together, but he was very good to us. By contrast, we hid so many things from him. For instance, when he asked why I wanted to learn magic, I answered, "It's my passion." But in truth, there was already a lot more to the story by then. After being taken in by an aristocrat for our magic talent, then betrayed soon after, this was no longer about me doing what I loved. What amazed me was how the lie escaped my lips even as I was hesitating over whether to tell him the truth. Trust is a beautiful thing. Sadly, I'd forgotten how to trust by then.
Winnie.
This wasn't your fault.
Still worried about the way I feel? You really are a gentle soul, aren't you? But don't worry, I'm used to it now. From the mansions of the elite to the House of the Hearth, lies and selfishness have followed me and Lynette everywhere we go. After Caesar went on tour, we became busy with our missions. The next we heard of him was that he'd fallen to his death, and was now declared to be the Phantom Weasel. That night, I remembered his smile. But as I lay there, I didn't know what to say to him. To keep secrets is to put up walls. The longer you keep them up, the less you let people in. Then, one day, you look around and realize your life is like an empty auditorium after a show, full of seats once occupied by all the people who left. But I guess that's the price we have to pay. You only realize how much someone really meant to you when you lose them completely. That's why I was so confident this would hurt Gemma. Because I felt it for myself.
We're in your auditorium, and we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, cheer up, Winnie. We've had to say our fair share of goodbyes during our journey, too. But whatever happens, Paimon always believes in what tomorrow brings. Delicious food, fun toys, and the traveler by my side. Paimon just needs to focus on things like this, and all the unhappy stuff goes right out the window. You know, Traveler, doesn't that kind of make you Paimon's truth?
Exactly. It's the same for me and Lynette. We are the truest thing each other has in the world, and nothing can replace that. Life has taken plenty from us like it did from Gemma. But at least it left us with each other, That's what gave us the strength to get through the darkest days. That's why the darkness never consumed me and why it never will. Maybe we live in the shadows too, but we remember every precious ray of light that shines through. All right, time to lighten this conversation up a little. What did you think of the show tonight? Were you happy with it?
Right. You probably gave us a hard time.
It was amazing! Paimon just wishes we hadn't been so distracted with the Gemma situation. We spent most of our time in the Opera House just talking and pretty much missed the entire first half of the show.
Yup.
Winnie, could you do just one more trick for us?
Whoa, that's a bit of a tall order, I'm afraid. The show's just finished, so my sleeves are decidedly card-free right now.
Aw, come on! Surely you can think of something. The Lenny Paimon knows can do anything if he puts his mind to it.
Oh, all right then. I'll give it a go, but only because it's you. Watch closely. I have a flower in my hand.
You liar! There's nothing in your hand! You ain't going along with this!
Huh? My goodness, you're right. But I could have sworn I brought one here with me. Okay, try this. Count down with me. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Now, have another
Hey,
look around.
flowers on me.
Maybe the flowers appeared somewhere else.
Really? Let's see.
Hey, it's on me.
Wow, there it is! Oh, this is a different flower from the last time, right? This one's called, oh yeah, a rainbow rose. But more importantly, Paimon has to know how the trick is done. Please, Linny, pretty please!
He's not gonna tell her.
Well, if you want to learn magic, you'll have to start by addressing me as teacher.
Ugh. Fine. Please, teacher, please!
Since you asked so nicely, I'll share one little tip with you. Namely, the student of magic cannot solely rely on others being prepared to reveal their secrets. You have to observe, think, and find the answers for yourself.
Is that it?
Yeah, he's not gonna
Look at
tell
the
you.
time. We shouldn't linger here too long. Thanks again for coming to see my show. I bid you both good night. I look forward to seeing you again.
Never told us the trick. How's the trick?
See ya! Shall we head back now, too?
Yeah.
Oh, Paimon can't wait to read the Steambird tomorrow. Paimon bets Linny and Caesar will be plastered all over it. Let's head to the Steambird's offices tomorrow morning and see what we can find out.
Alright, yeah, 8 to 12 tomorrow. Alright, just pass the time. Where to go? Wait, what? Steambird interview. Oh wait, I gotta finish the reputation quest first. Okay. 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 Yeah, this is just the reputation stuff. Okay. Now we finish now. Okay. Too much something complain. I got a recipe. Steak tartare. Wait, steak tartare. If I remember, isn't that like raw steak or something? I really gotta try steak tartare one day. Alright, now let's go to the Steambird and review.
I'm very sorry, Charlotte, but my sister and I are quite busy today. I'm afraid we'll have to decline this interview.
Oh, please, Linny, I'll only take a moment of your time, if you would be so kind.
Huh? What's happening here?
I spent all night writing my piece about the Phantom Weasel, and it was going to go to print this morning. But just as dawn broke, I suddenly received news that Caesar's fiancée, Gemma, had contacted the guards and confessed to having been the real Phantom Weasel all along.
That was quick.
Too late, bro.
That was quick, you say? It sounds like I've got some catching up to do. Please.
Yeah, she's
come
definitely
in.
not leaving us. Letting us go now.
Whoops.
Aha! My instincts did not lead me astray. You do have something to hide. Gemma turning herself in must have something to do with Linny's performance last night.
Maybe watching my high-altitude escape trick reminded her of a better time with Caesar, and she could no longer ignore the voice of her conscience.
Huh. Okay, then. Wait, no, there must be more to it. If that's all it took for her to have a change of heart, how did it take her 10 whole years?
Well...
Oh, I remember now. You and Gemma were nowhere to be found after the show. What happened between you? Quick fire question. Where did you all go after the show?
Oh, we went to the cemetery and Linny did a private magic trick just for us. Actually, glad you mentioned it, because that reminds Paimon, guess what? Linny started using rainbow roses in his tricks.
What? I don't recall ever having received a rainbow rose from you myself. Is this supposed to mean that they're more important to you than your own sister?
No, I just,
What now? Oh, did Paimon say something wrong again? This is getting pretty awkward. What do we do, Traveler?
Seems like this interview wasn't meant to be. Well, never mind. There's always next time. Forgive my persistence, but when there's explosive news waiting to be found, I can't turn away. The news about Gemma has already made waves, and I'll stop at nothing to get to the bottom of it all. Apparently, one of the things she said to the guards was that her final wish is to see Lorenzo one last time. There's clearly a web of complicated relationships there. Can't blame me for being curious. All right, I guess I'll leave you to continue the rest of your conversation in peace. Bye for now.
Lynette? Paimon didn't mean to.
Don't worry, I wasn't angry. I was just trying to distract her.
Clever.
Oh, really? Oh, thank goodness. You scared Paimon there.
Phew. You and me both, Paimon. You and me both. At least it did the job, right?
Please, take good care of that rainbow rose. I'd be really upset if you lost it.
Looks like Charlotte didn't get her interview. Shame. Alright. And that is Lenny's story quest done. And this other stuff, I think I'll just do it off stream. Not really interesting content. And I don't feel like voicing the full quest, so... Yeah, I think I'll do all this stuff off stream. And this should end it for today. Alright. Thank you for coming, and I'll see y'all next time. Maybe I'll do Starfield again, like sometime next week, but I'll be honest, Starfield isn't really clicking for me. But we'll see. Maybe I'll just keep playing, it'll get better. Not gonna refund it though. Probably will visit someday, but... Alright, see y'all next time. Bye.